Whoa. Dialing in for reality. Must align. Hey, Internet. How's it going? We're hoping you're having a great night. My name's Todd. I'm the Dungeon Master for a Dungeons & Dragons game that me and my friends are playing. Been playing for 48 episodes. I mean, with all the delays and stuff, it's definitely been over a year. Longest campaign I've ever run. Thank you, Internet, for joining us as well. Thank you to three of you right now, but all the people who've played before, and all the players I've loved before. All right, sorry. I'm just itching to play a bard anytime now. So anyway, that's loud. Sorry. So we're gonna be playing some Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing a campaign where a whole bunch of homebrew campaign a group called the Morally Ambiguous ended up going to hell, and so we transitioned to Descent into Avernus. The party, after many adventures and lots of what's the word I'm looking for? Butt kicking, have made their way to Bel's Forge to see what they can arrange in terms of being an ally against Zariel, or in some way helping them. They've gathered other allies along the way, and now that's where they are. So let's meet the players, and we're still waiting on a Carl to come back, but let's meet the rest of the table. Oop, that's not where's the button? There's the button. Hey, everybody.
Congratulations.
Hey, that's not the button I'm looking for. One of these buttons turns you guys on. Wow. You guys get?
I guess we should probably test to see yeah.
I think it's working. All right.
Yeah. I heard me, so that works for me.
Absolutely. So, and hey, play for today. Nice name, by the way. Thanks for dropping by.
It's me.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we had a viewer. I got my heart. Yeah. It's all good. Thanks. And also,
that would be Bela.
I do have to say, Bela, that your cat is amazing right behind you. It's like perched perfectly. That's amazing. So you now have an animal companion or familiar. It's your choice. Hey, we do. Thanks very much, Uncanny Tree, for dropping by again. And you already know that players get a plot point or two, but the audience, where are you? Audience, you also get plot points. So if you have an idea of how to make the game better or harder for these guys, or harder for me, you can make a suggestion and we'll try to work it into game. Just cash in some of those viewer plot points and away we go. If we can't do it right away, we'll try and work it in later on, like that mace that may come back that a viewer suggested a long time ago, and so we will work that in. Anywho,
been there.
So we've already let's go around the horn. So Bela, and what's your cat's name? I must know.
So this is Onyx. Yep.
That's amazing.
She responds to that. Hi, Onyx. And I'm Bela, and I'm playing Darmita. Sorry, who is a fallen Aasimar. What the hell am I?
Gloomstalker.
Ranger.
Gloomstalker Ranger.
There you go. It's only been 48.
End of the week.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Thank you. And you've got lots of complicating tie-ins, not the least of which is you've discovered your long-lost mom in hell. But we'll circle back.
Yeah. We'll talk more about her later.
It could come up. All right, let's keep going around the circle. Darcy.
I think that's me. Hi, I'm Darcy. You can find me on twitch.tv/DarcyBits. I have to do art sometimes, but all my links are there, so just go there. I will be playing Henrietta Henderson, the pacifist paladin of Palor, who snapped last session and finally attacked somebody.
Hey, if you're gonna go for it, go big, right?
They
Might as
then
well
killed
attach.
me and brought me back to life, so that's fun.
Attacked the former Archduke of Hell. Took a swing. Way to break that pacifist approach. Wow.
Look.
I was so happy about that moment. I think I clipped it. So we're going to find out a bit more about, go big or go home. Or go to hell.
I did
All
both,
right.
yeah.
Well, she's trying to go home and rescue El Terrell in the process, and perhaps, depending on how things align, maybe more.
It's true.
All right, let's keep going around the horn. Over to this side. Gordon.
Hey, Gordon, playing the resident shadow sorcerer Fenris, and he's got some things on the go. We'll see how they turn out.
Absolutely. So he away from a cult of teleporters, basically plane shifters, sort of. So we'll
I think you
see
called
where
them
that-
the Wayfarers or
the
something like that.
Wayfarers,
Yeah.
And again, that's just me being all silly. And as you can tell from the thing, we're missing a couple of players, so we'll jump over to them and just mention them. Oh, Gordon, before we move on, though, I probably don't have the camera's aim, so we can't really show. But you do have your game and all kinds of stuff. You want to talk about?
Yeah, so I make board games, design them in partnership with Greenbrier Games, and the latest one, the Kickstarter ended. The Pledge Manager is open. I think it's closing really shortly, though. And the game should be out later this year. Hopefully early fall at the latest.
Yeah, I back that, and I strongly recommend anybody who has the chance do so as well. Because, hey, games are fun. Games are good. All right, so that brings us round to the people who couldn't make it to the table. So let's talk about Carl. He should be here eventually. And, that's not Carl. That's the wrong face. But the name is correct. So Valerie, the Aarakocra monk, with the history of the plane of air, not to be confused with the airplane. And so we'll see a bit more from Carl later on. Having kids and playing Dungeons and Dragons is a thing. It's a thing. You out there, you Dungeons and dads and moms, you know what I'm talking about. Anywho, so
Actually, can I tell you something funny that I found this past week? There apparently is a how do you explain them? They do exercise. They're like one of those,
okay, like an exercise blog.
Yeah, they stream exercise, but it's all D&D and fantasy based. So basically, they do a race every week, and they have this massive D20 blow up that the guy who runs it rolls, and he takes the number that it rolls, and that gives them the number on the board, and then he looks at the corresponding number on his sheet, and that's what exercise they have to do to complete it. And they get crit fails and crit 20s are like
Nice.
Crits, and like it's all fantasy based. It's really wild. I've never seen that. I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
I
used to do sword training, like legitimate, like found a place in Toronto. There's other Vancouver and other stuff. Vancouver, Guelph, Toronto had these places where they would do longsword. And I don't mean foam. I mean like metal longsword and dagger and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm all about I just get so bored doing push-ups and sit-ups and all that stuff. It is amazing if you get the chance. And they do online stuff too. Check them out. Emma, they also play D&D a lot. Not surprisingly, they like Dungeons and Dragons too. So yeah, anything that gets us moving and having a good time. All right, speaking of getting moving,
true.
we should get back to hell. So
yeah.
Without further ado, let's dive in to Dungeons and Dragons and go back to hell. Be back in just a sec. You find yourselves surrounded by lava flows and small bridges, just leaping over the gaps in of these bubbling, incredibly hot furnaces. These anvils that are bigger than three of you side by side, perched around the room in various intervals. A hovering platform of stone and glittering gold and infernal iron, atop which is perched a pit fiend, blood-red scales, large leathery wings, and horns that extend up and off. Even more than just the average pit fiend, the ridges and crests on the head almost forming a kind of crown. You have found your way into the lair of the former Archduke. Ooh, thank you. Yes, that's a great Mum Furious Fitness. We'll shout out to that. Thanks. So, Bel sits atop his hovering throne. He seems amused. Henrietta's head snapping back into place from being twisted around. And now, you have a few minutes to gather yourselves as the fire giants begin just back to work. Ping, ping. Forging weapons for the eternal
Don't
war.
they?
Is that what we're gonna pick up?
Yeah, aren't the giants kind of like displayed actually, like with the markings?
No, they.
Yes.
I,
Actually, this is kind of where we're going to get a little timey-wimey, I think.
Okay.
I wasn't
Yeah,
sure if
yeah.
you were going to take up Bel. You have a decision to make. Bel offered you a deal with effectively an archdevil. Several different options. Magical items, riches beyond your wildest dreams, eternal life, and many other. You could have devil servants helping you to accomplish your goals. You could have a incredibly powerful spell cast on your behalf, a wish spell, if you wish to make a deal with the devil. So the decision is yours. You can talk about it. You can think about it. You don't even have to say you've done it yet. We could plot point that. We could jump ahead and say, well, that was a lot. And you jump ahead in time to the next step. He has mentioned Sibriex, a weird, demonic, fiendish creature that hovers throughout many of the hells, and in particular sees that which is usually hidden. And he happens to know where one might have a lead for something that he wants, and a being that you, and especially Valerie, want access to. Zarnia.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
She was the last being to be in charge of these adamantine rods that she offered over to Zariel when she left Bel's service and betrayed him.
If I can recap for a bit, this is the way I remember stuff going down, right? Going far enough back, we had a plan that we could probably get to Bel, who created the companion orb, this construct, magical, I don't know what it actually is, thing that is what allowed Zariel to bring Eltrell, this holy city, down into hell. That's about right so far?
Yep.
So we think, okay, we'll go see Bel, and Bel not only made this, but kind of hates Zariel at this point because Zariel effectively demoted him. Am I still on track?
Oh yeah.
So the theory was, if we can do something to really put a thorn in Zariel's side, or maybe even completely kill him, who knows? That's in Bel's best interest. So if there's something we want from Bel, that service from us is theoretically what is on the line, and really all we want is the tools to do the thing that he wants us to do.
Mhm.
That was my understanding. So we show up, we trade a few words, he talks to us in our brain. We all ask for something slightly different. And he says, okay, prove you're worth it. Go kill all these fire giants. One combat aside, we'll skip over what happened in it and what happened after, because that's not important to my recap. Let's not get sidetracked.
But that's the name of the show. No, that's fine.
He's now offering sort of a different deal. This is the way I'm hearing it. Like,
It's almost like a sweetener.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they line up to each other. Is the first deal still on the table? Is this a different deal? Do we need to use this second deal in order to actually get the first deal? Like, because one of the deals is a service from a devil, and if we're like, well, the service is telling us the information we came to find, is that the deal, or is that separate? Does that make sense?
Why don't you do an insight check to see how well you're reading this situation?
Sure. Why not?
I'm
asking
forgetting.
as a player, but that's fine.
Can I, before he does that?
Not Henrietta. I mean Darcy. Dude, no, I'm kidding.
Okay, what's
but
my
I will
insight?
remind you, and I don't forget.
You know me all pretty well. What do you think?
I don't
Give me a
forget
number between one and two.
Fenris critted on his persuasion check on that initial deal that Darcy was talking about. And so, and also did really well in looking for the fine print when that arises. I haven't forgotten about that.
I've written it down, so.
And
I will not allow you to forget.
I'm going to, while I know that the actual battle itself is not pertinent or very important for the recap, I am going to point out we did really well. The point of the battle, or the test, was to see, according to him, if we actually had what it took to be, I guess, conniving enough to beat Zariel.
Well, I got a 6.
And we won.
You did win.
Darcy
And
got
then
us.
Darcy rolled a 6. Yeah. So Darcy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can't
I just died. It's cool.
You've been having a rough day. You broke your oath to like swing at a arch pit fiend and missed.
Oh,
and then it
give
held
me a
you,
second of
twisted
that.
your head
I did
around.
not break my oath.
Yeah,
I'm a
I know.
paladin, and that still stands. Let me go find the words on
I
that
know.
oath.
That's fair. That's fair. But you kind of went against your general stance.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
went against my
so-
actual
It's been a day for you. So
philosophy of my.
your head is
character.
spinning, pardon the pun, but so you have a really hard time. Yeah. Hey, Sir Fibril. Yeah, definitely. And good to see you there, Yafin. Yes. So, Henrietta, you were kind of out of it and being raised back. You were having a bit of a hard time right now, putting the pieces together. There's a gap there where you were out, and you're not entirely certain what was all agreed to. Now you can see
Sure.
Bel waiting, just contentedly drumming his massive clawed fingers on the edge of this, and you can see these scratch marks on the arm of the chair. Like this is habitual. He's very comfy, and he's sitting there just, yes. Oh, hold on. I'm remembering.
So, I believe, seeing your display, you may stand a chance to accomplish your goals. Not to say that they're my goals,
And in your head, you hear,
but they are. So, I might have something to offer. Obviously, there is a price.
now the rest of this, this is in your head. So the next bit of this is just in your head as he kind of just drums his fingers. That's the main sound you're hearing, is the but and the pinging of the forge as the frost giants resume. They're still standing there, leather aprons and these massive sparks being kicked off as they're pounding on these anvils, and but their bare backs, you can see there's the beginning of a sentence being etched, and the blood is flowing down their back as a sentence is beginning. As you made your various agreements, he's agreed to show you where the Sibriex is, or this is the offer.
I will arrange for you to know where to find the Sibriex, so you can find this Sarnia. And, or rather, that one. Hey, perfect timing.
Perfect timing there, Carl.
It always seems to be perfect timing.
Yeah, man. Welcome
I
back.
recall that last time.
Yeah.
No,
Valerie
the
is
last
back
time
in the house.
Last time I came in was, hey, roll for this.
We are roll initiative. Do a death save for me, Carl. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No, we're just talking to Belle, and I'm gonna let you guys decide. And you guys can. He's offering to show you where the Sibriex is. In exchange, you will make short work. He offers several things. You could make short work of Sarnia, and let him have the remains, and he would be very happy with that. Proof of death might work as well. And then he also is willing to grant all of you further boons, if you wish, to accomplish the goal of going up against Zariel. But that would be an extra price.
So are we having a player conversation or a character conversation?
Let's say player, I guess, if you want. And we can do the timey-wimey thing if you just want to press. If you want to vote fast forward, you can fast forward. If you want to hash it out, you can hash it out. The deals are what I texted, which are pretty. I mean, if you, depending on what you want to sign up for, you can get magical items, riches, never age.
Right.
You could have a devil servant, basically, for a while. You could do all kinds of things. You can have a wish
I guess that would be
spell.
my first question is like,
It'll
if
s-
like, does anyone feel that their character, when offered these things, would bite at them, irregardless of our actual plan, right? Like, are any of you that kind of person?
No.
Because it could be really interesting if like one of us is like, you know what, I don't care, I want this thing.
All right. No player conversation anymore. Character conversation.
That's fair.
All right,
I
sure. I
love
mean,
it.
You're busy getting your neck sorted back together. So
yeah, no, totally.
Fenris is the first to have the deal. He notices these things, right? With my previous role.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do, so Fenris is going to quickly scratch out the part of the deal when it comes to return the rods, change it to find them.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the negative effects of like losing your soul if you act against him, I noticed that there was no time period, so that would it would affect in the past. I'm going to say in the future, unless in self-defense, right? In case he acts against us, right? And then with what was that last one that I recall? It was, yeah, I think those are the two main ones, right?
Those are
was
the two main.
basically,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those were the two main ones, and then I found some of the benefits. And so also what I'm just going to make sure is that there's no if I fail to find the rods, there's no negative consequence. It's just only if I only get the boon if I find the rods, and that's basically, I think, the third piece. So it's not like I can have the boon, but if I don't find the rods, I lose my soul. It's more like, I get nothing. I don't get the benefit. I don't lose anything until I find the rods, and then I get the benefit. And that's what I'm going to switch it to. And then and with the nat 20, I'm hoping there's nothing else I miss, and then I'm going to sign.
All right, and I will give you all the mulligan if you change your mind later and you want to, there's going to be a smash cut at this point. As you see Fenris approach one of these giants, and across the back in blood is all these etchings. And by the way, there's a plop. There's Yelfen. I love it. Add a stipulation that you get at least 2 bags of holding filled with gold. There's a veteran D&D player if I ever saw one. Which
Not that kind of campaign.
could be. Fenris wants to set himself up for when he's done. But anyway, we're gonna smash cut just after he walks up. Fenris walks up to these the nearest giant that has his name emblazoned in blood across his back, and pulls out a dagger, makes these adjustments in the flesh of this giant. And you just hear the thing being like, but it barely slows, and you gotta kind of get out of the way of the elbow as it's still hammering, still working. You just carve your name right into the right kidney area.
And as I do it, I turn to, when I'm finished, I turn to Bell and I say a gesture to show how serious I am. And I let him kind of see the envision of the vengeance piece again in my mind.
Then we have a deal.
Smash cut. We're going forward. You stand on an outcropping, not too far from the sticks. You've gotten here the last little way on foot. An imp guiding your way, hopping back and forth from one foot to the other.
This way. The master says this way. Hurry up.
He guides you to this cliff top, where you find not cliff top, but an outcropping overlooking a small valley kind of area. And on one end, it's almost like a little inlet or like a lagoon edge. And inside, you see several chain devils and other devils kind of surrounding this bulbous, floating head. It's weird. It's like a bunch of brains and eyes and teeth all floating, and it's all wrapped in this net-like structure made of bands of metal and chain. And some of the metal and chain are permanent there, like helping bind this strange infernal beast together. And it's hovering, and just the clink of the chains. And every once in a while, an ice devil turns and just sticks this long spear-like thing, but it flashes with this blue pulse every time it makes contact, and just and the area where the spear touches this brain kind of pulses and writhes in pain, and this bluish tint arrives to the otherwise reddish pink flesh and spreads from the point of contact about a foot in all directions. And the ice devil pulls it back and screeches something at it in Infernal. Those who speak Infernal know that it said,
Are you ready to talk? Tell me your secrets.
You look down and you see before you the Sibriex, right where Bel promised it would be. What do you want to do?
Do we have an introduction with it?
No, I think we're not right in front of it, are we?
It's pretty far away actually, and this is Zariel's crew. The imp on the way letting you know.
They are servants of Zariel. They will not allow us to speak. It's such a valuable creature. It knows too much to let it fall into the hands of a potential enemy. You must take it, gain access, The way is yours. It is up to you. You could slay them all. Or maybe deceive them. Or something else. But make it quick. My shows are on later.
Right. So, Henrietta,
Mhm.
you swung at an archdevil. I don't
Thank you.
know whether to be proud of you or aghast at the fact that you almost got us all killed, but
Yeah. I
what is
suppose.
up with that? You didn't just little swung, you just went right at him. First time I've seen you do that.
First thing I've seen that felt. I don't know how to put it into words. Everyone down here has been following orders. Everyone has some larger plan that has logic to it. That doesn't make it good, but there's a reason. And his actions didn't. They were pure. I think she just kind of trails off.
Oh, I totally get what you mean, but by doing such a thing, did you break some kind of oath? Are you an oathbreaker paladin now? I've heard of those.
I think most paladins don't adhere so firmly to pacifism as I.
Most paladins aren't you.
Yeah.
Does this mean you're not a pacifist anymore?
No, it doesn't mean that.
Pretty disappointing.
I'm sure you'd say so. Look, no one down there. I don't mean, they might be completely awful. What do I know? But I've seen you talk to devils. I've seen you reason with them. Seen you hold your hand because you know there's more to them than just mindless soldiers.
I think the point that Fenris is trying to make, though, is there are times you can't, and you have to fight. Have you finally realized that there are times you're going to have to fight? And are you at peace with that?
Well said. As in, I'm not at peace with it. Not at all. But there are times. That's not one of them.
Well, anyways, I think we're almost where we need to be for finding out these rods and Sarnia. Hopefully that can help. And for what it's worth, I hope you all listen to my warnings about each of you doing a deal. The things that I pointed out, whether you decided to do a deal or not, it's up to you. But I have reasons for mine.
Darmita just glares at you as if you would consider that.
I wasn't looking at you. It's like, I know you didn't do a deal. I was looking at Valerie and the not so pacifist paladin.
Oh, we're here now, so we have a choice.
This way.
As this disgusting thing has said, either we try to deceive these creatures and taking what we want, or we kill them. I think you know which way I go on the matter.
Yeah. Well, I am down with that, and perhaps we can do it in a way where this captive thing will be inclined to give us the information that we seek.
We are near it. There, over this ridge. I will wait here. We will let you deal with this.
Stealth
You have
approach.
So I'm gonna drag you to a new map.
I'll be
Okay.
right back. Just somebody's knocking at the door.
No worries, man.
No worries.
Nothing like finally getting your kid to sleep and then knock knock, Avon calling.
Yeah,
Um,
no kidding.
So I'm gonna drag you to a new map and hope everything works out okay in terms of cameras. But here we are.
Hey, it's Archie. Hi, Archie.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. This is
Where
this
have
is
you
an
been?
old
You
map.
just like showed up.
Where's Archie?
That would be amazing. Now I'm sad. There we go.
Not my Archie.
No, different
not your
Archie.
Our player.
I was a
This
swap
is-
out Fullery for the different token.
Oh sure, yeah, go for it.
Oh,
I
Do I,
reusing a
I
map.
don't have access.
So you guys can place yourselves kind of
afraid.
anywhere. I just kind of dropped you near-ish. Here, let's put you up here. So you're looking down at this.
Seems right.
They've kind of got it chained and pinned between these two archways. There's these two outcroppings of stone that jet upwards, almost irrational, like they've been erupted from the earth in some distant time. The dusty plains settle between them, and they are all gathered around this floating. I'm using the lemure, but it's this floating, strange, bulbous head
Oh, that's
thing.
what that is. I've never seen one so large and didn't realize it was Lemur. It's amazing.
Yeah, and so the ice devil. So it's chained there. The ice devil, which with its long spear, almost a pike, really, kind of standing close by, but it's just ringed with chain devils. Some of them, one of them's literally hanging off of the cliff. Two of its other chains just acting like long arms. It's just dangling. You can actually see that it's got the hooks in its flesh on the other end, and these long chains are suspending it off of there, just hanging out off of the cliff face. There's a couple more that are just kind of walking and slithering around, commanding the legions of chain that are surrounding this the lemure. No, sorry, the Sibriex.
Alright, so I know you want to just get in there and kill them all. And morality aside, ethics, whatever. I was going to send a message back to Zariel. I don't think them dying is going to change that. Or maybe I'm wrong.
These things, these devils down here, are our enemy, and we could try a deceptive approach, but eventually that ruse will fail, right, at some point. So I think we should do what we do best. Get the drop on these things, take them out quick, and find out where the rods are from this ugly bulbous thing. Unless you're willing to, unless you know of another way, a better way. You think you can just convince them?
No. Even if I could, it's the same problem with an allied attack. can't show our hand. Not at this point. It's not like we can.
So that's all Darmita needs. Where's the largest? Either like,
So
because it's hard for me to see this map really
Absolutely.
well.
it's quite red. So
I'm thinking this guy right here.
sorry, do you want
So
to think?
he's the captive. Whoops, I
Yeah,
gotta
so
get
the
it into a
large
different-
um,
captive.
thing bound
This is
by
the
chain.
largest fiend.
That's the ice devil that has been stabbing it with the pike. It glows with,
hell
and like
yeah.
literally it's just steaming with frost in this heat. It is uncomfortable and fetid out at all times, and it's just ringed with chain devils, kind of writhing and guarding and keeping watch, and sometimes tightening the chains painfully, dragging it around and just enjoying the torture as chain devils are known to do.
Well, I'll be putting my hunter's mark on him
For sure.
because that's still a thing.
All right then.
It
So
hasn't been 8 hours and I haven't taken a rest.
there you go. All right. Unless there's what else? What would you like to do before things kick off, Valerie
Is there enough?
or
I was going to
Henrietta?
ask if there's enough cover up here to be hidden without actually hiding, if that makes sense.
It's
Just
on a
be
slightly
behind total
elevated.
cover.
Yeah, it's slightly elevated, so you can kind of stand there without actually, as long as you don't make a lot of noise.
Right.
You have rocks, a ridge of rocks, kind of in front of you, at chest height or even a bit higher in places. So it's relatively easy to stay hidden from your current vantage point.
Cool. I just wasn't sure if they were gonna like get shot, turn around, and see like Hannon just standing there, being like,
They would have to do a perception check, like spend an action to see you up there.
Cool.
Doesn't mean they can't. It just means they
Yeah,
would have
I'm
to
not gonna
actively search.
interrupt Darmita's turn. I think that she's quick on the draw.
For
She
sure.
is incredibly fast. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like gets a bead on them, draws the arrow. A bunch of other arrows stuck in the dirt, just ready to reach. Valerie, what do you want to do?
Well, since we're about to enter the fray, I'm gonna go invisible and approach as close as I can. They're probably like flying above them, or as close to them as possible.
Absolutely. Go ahead and position your token. I'll say you can be invisible being a shadow monk, so absolutely no problem. Go ahead and place where you want to start with.
All right, let's see what the 45 speed. Right about there. That's
For sure.
about 45 feet. So.
All right.
Yeah. You
And
should be able to swap out your icon, by the way.
yeah, if you want to, you can do
All
that.
right.
Yeah, it was like a
I'll-
weird reused token map thing. So
I just grabbed an old.
I enjoyed the vintage.
Nice. All right. We're going vintage. All right. And Fenris, what
Oh,
do you want to
there
do?
you go. You can.
I am going to. I'm gonna with my bonus. I guess with. I noticed I'm a little bit low on sorcery points, so I'm gonna swap out 2 first level spell slots. To get
yeah,
2
actually,
more
that's a
sorcery.
good question. How long were we traveling? Has it been days or has it been hours?
I mean, if you wanted to have a rest, you probably could have. There was not a huge push except your own impetus. If I remember correctly, you had 7 days remaining if you hope to raise Lulu.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can get a long rest out of this?
If you want a long rest, you can do it.
I'm literally at 1 hit point from dying.
That is true. So, how about we say we've done a long rest? The imp just spent most of the night complaining, hopping from one foot to the other, and then fluttering off a little while, swearing at you in Infernal. That was how your night passed. So you've all had a long rest. Sure, I'll be
Okay.
nice.
Okay, so I am going to, seeing Darmita's signature move, and with that, it looks like she's about to unleash some volleying of arrows. I am going to launch a lightning ball at them to open
Nice.
things up.
All right. So you're gonna have to get kind of near Darmita, just because the rocks where the imp is, which is right here, they crest up a fair ways, and it's crawled up over the top and is trying to keep an eye. So the low point is where Darmita is, and you could be right near her and have a pretty good vantage point. And,
Okay.
And Henrietta, where do you want to be?
Let's take a look at this thing. Yeah, I want to be behind any sort of total cover I can, so that
Sure
I can,
thing.
not be seen without having to roll my abysmal stealth.
Yep, that's totally fair. You were kind of
Easily done.
back against the stone, just humming an old hymn, just kind of coming to you, almost unbidden, and this voice in the back of your skull, just being like, just giving it a slight distemper to the notes that are clear in your head otherwise. Okay.
So I'm just going to launch a lightning ball right here just to catch these four.
All right. So let's roll initiative. Whew.
Oh, I think Valerie going first.
Is that a nat 20?
Yeah.
That is a nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Valerie with
The
29.
battle's already done, guys. It's done.
I didn't do well.
Fenris coming in with the 18. You will still have the surprise round.
Okay.
Probably, unless they have something going on. Bela.
8.
8. And you're no longer exhausted, just so you know.
Yeah,
If you took a long rest.
I did. I would have.
And Henrietta with 13.
Yep.
You first, Valerie.
So we're dealing with chain devils, and some lemurs. Lemurs.
That's what you can see from your earlier vantage point.
Man, I really want to use the fireball thing, but why did I get this?
Where did you get that? You just spawned with it. I don't know the backstory at all.
No, they found it as part of a warlock's treasure.
Yeah.
Although what
What?
warlock
Oh.
going into hell
Yeah.
would bring a
I thought you were
necklace
talking
of
about the
fireballs?
fire, the light zapper thing.
No, I
Yeah, you have a necklace of fireballs or something. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
No worries.
bloody
Thanks
hell.
very much for dropping
Alright.
by Uncanny Tree. You can always catch us on the VOD or the podcast version if you feel like catching up.
All right, as always, I'll might as well use the javelin of lightning.
Nice. All right.
So I'll go a little closer, just so I actually gain the range. All right. Javelin lightning, 30 feet range.
Nice.
So okay.
And it hits in a long arc, like a long straight line. So however you want to line it up.
Really? I thought it just hit a target. That's it.
No, I think
hold
it hits
on.
everything in
Ult
that
lightning.
path.
Yeah, you attack a target and
Yeah.
it's everything else in the path too, so you want to be lined up.
In that case, then.
And you are invisible.
Let's line up. Let's line up here.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and hit these 4 wonderful creatures.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's 30 feet. No, that's so these 3 here.
All right. So you're flapping over there, just trying to keep as quiet as you can. I will need you to do a stealth check for me, just for a technicality. You do have advantage, being invisible. Whew. 26. Nice. All right. So you
Yes.
line it up. Make your roll, please. Or is it a roll, or is it just a straight up save?
It is.
It's
It
straight up
is a
save.
roll. No,
Okay.
it is a roll. We'll see. But, really?
And who are you attacking specifically?
This one here.
You do have advantage. Oh,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll bring me to a grand total of 10.
yeah. That's a nat 2 with advantage. Yikes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes.
You're just
One or
like,
two.
Shadow Monk gets into position. You're just like, this will bring you closer to your prey. Sarnia's within reach. Throw it, and the javelin goes into the dirt. And you didn't hit anything, so
Does
it didn't even
expand the
activate.
lightning bolt?
It's just thunk, just
Okay,
a
good.
regular javelin sticking in the dirt.
What?
Uh,
Nice. That's a generous DM right there.
It is sitting like a foot and a half away from this ice devil right behind it, and they've been busy muttering curses at this Sibriex, and everything stops, and they all turn and look and see this javelin in the dirt, and then they look up and they see this this Aarakocra flying like 20 feet away, hovering about 20 feet up in the air as well. Just, and they all see you. All right, in that immediate moment.
Hey guys, what's shaking?
All right, Fenris, you're up.
Yeah, I lob a lightning ball. So it begins to form like a fiery amber orb, and then it just shifts into lightning. And
All right,
I
it's
launch
fireball, but you electrify it.
Yes.
Nice.
To lightning.
You have to rub it in. You have to rub it in, don't you?
Yeah, well, these. And I launch it at in this. It basically about right here to
Nice.
catch. I think about these four: the ice devil and the chain devils to the
Absolutely.
left of
What's the radius again? Sorry.
it. 20 feet.
Okay, and where are you putting it? Just put a little.
Like basically right about there.
That would
that.
just hit the.
Then a little bit back a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, just like
All right, so right there,
Yeah.
and it just misses it, possibly. All right, so I'll start rolling some dice here. I do the old school because I don't get to roll dice very often these days. Ooh,
and I will roll for damage.
Fail. All three chain devils. Now, hold on. They do have magic
DC?
resistance. So,
Okay.
first one still failed. Second one passed. Third one passed with a crit. And of course, the ice devil, which is this weird. It's a little different than a lot of the other devils. It's very insectine. It's got these mandibles and this bulbous golden eyes and this long chitinous armor tail, and it's very, very strange creature. And what's your DC?
17.
And it passed, so it
Okay.
does half damage. All right.
So 28.
Okay, 28 points of damage. And then for the
14
ones that
on
passed,
those
it'd
who
be 14.
passed.
Yep. Okay. The thing just blasts and it just tears into them. And
And then I'm going to move out of sight.
yeah, you duck back, take a deep breath. It goes off, and the first chain devil actually gets like blasted off its feet away from them and tossed a few feet away. That's the one that failed and took 28. The other two just kind of take it, and the chains just clinking and clicking together in this in increased tempo. And then the ice devil itself just kind of weathers it, and it looks up from this javelin sitting in the dirt, and then stares back at Valerie and points its ice icy spear at Valerie in the air, and hisses an infernal.
That's right. That's lightning.
All right.
Fear my lightning magic.
That right
Henrietta.
there, that was me. It's good. Yeah. I'm gonna cast my new favorite spell, Message.
Nice.
I'm gonna target the Sibriex.
Okay.
I'm still staying behind the rock, but I know they're there, so I can still target them.
Yep.
And
you got
I
an
will
eyeball.
speak
Yep.
whisper into their ear. I guess I don't know how that works.
It's got many eyes and faces and ears, so you can just pick one.
Good. I'll pick one. Hello. Can you understand me? We're here to speak to you about a series of rods. Please reply. And the message just says
I thought you were gonna say
short.
we're here to speak to you about our Lord Palador.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna convert this Sibriex. It'll be great. So I get. All right, cool. So I don't have to cast tongues. Good. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to or not.
Not this time.
Good. I figured they seem smart. They're a bunch of brains.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre creature.
Yeah, I've seen the art. It's good. You should have done it up.
All right. If you want, I'm gonna get you to be doing a persuasion check,
Oh, sure.
just to see how convincing you are. Unless you want to
Yeah, I'm just trying
deceive
to make.
or intimidate.
Right now I'm just like, hey, we need to talk to you because I want to just get the information and leave with as much as damage as possible, right? But it's a 30. I don't really know what I'm persuading them of, but it's a 30.
It's been tortured, and now you're basically convincing that it's that you are a friend.
Yeah,
of
I mean, it's
sorts.
not like it didn't notice the big explosion and see Valerie and
No.
gonna put those pieces together.
When that explosion happened, though, it hissed and retreated slightly. This strange globulous flesh just dripping off of it. It's pretty nasty. All right, that is your pass. Coming up next, at this point, when the Ice Devil shouts out, there's these echoing cries called out by the Chain Devils, and then there's another guttural kind of echo from over the hill behind.
Todd,
Yep.
we don't get our surprise round?
Oh, sorry. You're right. It did call out, and you did hear this strange guttural cry behind. But that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, Darmita.
All right.
And it is your first
So, yeah, and I've only hit, I did my bonus action on him before, but
Mhm.
It's a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of attacks.
She gets a lot of attacks.
only 3. Technically. And I get to re-roll if, I
Nice.
miss and stuff.
I just
I'm
read
not
Sarah
sure what
Fabriel's.
you're gonna do with that.
Let's hope they
Uh,
bought the raid.
Does the 14 hit?
You're aiming at the Ice Devil?
Yeah.
Unfortunately not.
All right, then I'll use my Stalker's Fury to re-roll that. All right. Wow. That's... What the hell? Okay.
Cool.
I'm not used to this.
You get
Yeah,
2 more.
missing. Yikes. That's okay. Well, you still have 2 more attacks if I remember correctly.
All right, there's a hit,
You missed
and I'm
the
just
first
gonna
one.
roll. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's a hit with the 26.
and the last one's a hit. So
The last one's a hit.
So that's 22 straight up damage, and then another 2d6, so
Cool.
29.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, 29, and then another d8 for my third one.
Absolutely.
32.
32 points of damage. Nice. All right, the arrows just, the first two hitting the dirt just shy, and you almost, everything goes calm and quiet for a second. You take a deep breath, and you can almost feel a hand on your shoulder in memory. Back in the forests, your father teaching you to shoot. He was saying, Darmita, slow your breathing. I know you're excited. Make the shot count. And you're back in this hellscape. And the last two shots striking true, hitting this massive creature. Just a little bit of blood trickling down its white hide. Well, not hide, armor. Armored plates of its body. All right, coming up next. I guess that's the top of the order. That's everybody, yeah? Did I miss somebody? No, that's everybody. All right,
No,
that is your surprise round. Top of the order.
Yeah.
Valerie.
All right, let's see. Let's see here. Okay, give me one moment. I'll use an action, gain invisible once again.
All right.
And okay, so where's Fenris and his propensity for lightning? I will not get in his way. I'll probably just move right down here for now.
All right. As you... sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and then I'll get an advantage on my next attack whenever I do.
All right. So you focus and the shadows just envelop you. It is dim light here most of the time. Especially if you hug that cliff face, you'll actually... Occasionally the passes of light might reveal you as the roiling clouds above. But if you tuck right in next to that cliff, you will definitely be invisible. Just saying. At the moment, it seems to be holding. Actually, do me a favor.
Okay.
Roll a d10.
The surprise rolls, I love these. 7.
All right. So right now, it is currently dim enough where you are. But that can change if one of the clouds moves a little bit and the fiery sky reveals a bit too much light. Unless you take other action. All right. And it's a good thing you did. Because as you're going, you see and hear, because you're a little elevated, you see these long serpentine heads from behind and this cliff face. And you can see these dragon-like beings, but not so big. Wyverns, but quite large wyverns. Have been sitting on the far side of this cliff, of this outcropping, each of them having a chain devil up on its, kind of quickly mounting it.
Oh, great.
All right. So Valerie,
I hope
you
they
see
didn't
that.
see
The
the
rest of them
javelin.
don't. Sorry, go ahead.
I hope they didn't see the javelin. Just kidding.
Okay. Coming up next, that'll be Fenris.
You're muted.
I do not see the wyverns. Yes, so I'm going
not
to.
yet. Just
Not really.
Valerie, because he was a bit closer as he was ducking for the cover. You've
Right,
heard a
so-
strange screech, though.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm going to go back to kind of what I was originally going to do and move up, launch another electric ball, and I'll move back. So
All
this time, kind of seeing how they are, I'm going to just launch it like basically the same spot where I launched it before to affect the same 4.
Okay. and they haven't had a chance to scatter yet. So the second one streaks in, just trailing a little bit of electric, and then hits and erupts. Just it's like the inside of a volcano when it's being struck by the pyroclastic lightning. It's just fiery red illuminated. I'll get them to do some more dex saves, and you can still hit all the same of the 4 of them, and they still have advantage.
Yep, and I'll just roll damage.
The third one fails this time. The first 2 succeeds, and the Ice Devil succeeds with a nat 19.
38 this time.
All right, nice.
So 19 on those that succeeded, and 38 on the one that failed.
Nice. And 19 is 30, basic math. And 19, you say?
19 on those that succeeded.
All right, nice. As the lightning just shocking them and illuminating the area with these flickers of light. All right. Coming up next, Henrietta.
Before I go, I wanted to call out that the stream looks a little shaky. If there's anything you can do about that. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I did see that. Thank you, Yaffin.
Just wanted to make sure you saw that.
Yeah, thank you. I'll reset the internet when I get the chance.
Great. Cool. So I am replying. I'm going to continue this conversation. I think they just basically asked who I was, right?
Mm-hmm.
My name is Henrietta Pedersen, Paladin of Pelor. Look, what can we do to get access to what we need? Perhaps we can... You're trapped, right?
Yes. They are holding us. You could free.
Cool. So I don't get any more specific information about.
But you're laying that
kill all the
groundwork.
chain devils that are holding us, or whatever, right? That's probably about it. I'm going to do the silly thing, and I'm going to speak to Darmita, who will not, heed my call, but that's okay, because it'll let me give her inspiration anyway.
Nice.
And I'm going to, whisper over to her, saying, target the chains, break the Sibriex free. We'll turn the sides of this, and we'll have what we need. Something like that, So I'll give a die of inspiration.
Nice.
But obviously you can do whatever you want with it.
All right. Perfect. So you have your inspiration. You're all set. And you're comfy sitting where you are?
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next. So now they finally gather themselves, and you see these large, leathery wings unravel. All of you, well, Henrietta can't, but everybody else can, as the wyverns begin to take to the sky. And they flap their wings and come cresting up over this and begin to fly almost directly over the Sibriex and the Ice Devil, and one of their heads looking down towards the Ice Devil, and it calls up at them and it's like,
I killed them all.
and they're going to take a look around for the assailants, because there's no obvious visible assailants right now. And there are chain devils on each of their backs with the chains wrapped around like makeshift saddles.
I assume they're high enough that we are not, or at least behind cover anymore. So
Not.
They probably can't just see us.
You probably would be, but there is a chance for them to spot Fenris and Darmita, and they've been seeing where, certainly where the fireball streaks have coming out. If they are paying close enough attention, they might spot that.
Cool.
Can I get Fenris and Darmita? Technically, you can't be stealth right now, so it's more just a matter of if they hit a certain threshold. One of them continues to fly, to circle around, possibly looking for the owner of a javelin. But the owner of a javelin, please go to the
Test
Go to
for
the parking
service.
lot. Your lights are on. And the other one is just scanning around and does manage to see where they're coming from. I don't know if I can layer these. Can I group these? I can group these. Huzzah! All right, and it begins to make its way over here. And I think right about here it runs out of movement. But it is a good, probably a good 30, 40 feet in the air. So it is even above your level of your slight rise of about 10 or 15 feet. And one of them's moving towards you, and the other one seems to be searching for the owner of a javelin. All right, they're not in range yet, but they do seem to have spotted you. Okay. Man, I can't make Roll20 do my bidding. There we go. Okay, so coming up next, that would be the Ice Devil. The Ice Devil turns around and starts looking around for the owner of this javelin, and does a perception check trying to spot you.
Isn't Flurry invisible, or did you break that already? Yeah, you must have. Right, never mind.
No, he's still technically
No.
invisible, but
Yeah,
you can
you're
still kind
invisible.
of hope to see something if you know it's a vague area.
That's true. I'm not sure if they do, but yeah, that's true.
It
You're
does
right.
have disadvantage on the search, I'm gonna say,
That
which
means
is
that's the
good
rules,
because
yeah.
the first roll was a 19, and the second one was a 5. So
Kill them for the glory of Zariel.
all right, coming up next, Darmita.
You sure? Wasn't Fenris before me?
Oh yeah, Fenris launched his second fireball.
Oh,
Yeah, I did a second lightning ball.
Yeah,
I totally missed that
Chucking
then.
lightning ball like it's going out of style. My internet doesn't like me, does it?
That's weird. I totally missed a bunch then. I thought I was here. So, fortunately, I didn't miss Darcy.
Fenris goes before me, so yeah.
Do I see,
So you,
like, how many chains are holding it down?
it's got about 4 in total that you can see. Well, actually, no. Sorry, 3 that you can see. 2 off the larger rock onto the right side, and 1 off of the kind of thinner rock on the left. And they're anchored, driven into the with infernal anchors into the stone.
Can I? Would you allow me, based on Henrietta saying that, to do some kind of, I guess, check into seeing, like, where I could strike to potentially break it?
Absolutely, sure.
Find the load-bearing chain.
Yeah. Go for
That's
a
essentially what I'm
perception
looking
check.
for.
Yeah.
Find a perception check.
Okay.
That's, by the way, what a Sibriex looks like.
Yeah, there's something, aren't they?
Not a survival, huh? Too bad.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Hmm.
Because I'm rolling like shite today.
But
If you want to
16.
my
spend, if you want
favorite
to
enemy.
spend the thing, now might be the time instead of for the attack.
What?
'Cause you're better at attack rolls, so maybe now is the time to use the die. The Bardic Inspiration.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Just before Todd says anything, because them's the rules.
It's up to you.
Just feels thematically appropriate. So
Well,
it does.
with a 16,
It
um,
does.
it's up to you.
What is it?
This was a perception
It's
check to spot a weak spot in the chains.
No, but what's the die? Is it a D8
oh yeah, it's D8
or
this
Bardic?
level. I believe it's D8. Yes, yeah, it is.
Fucking hell.
Is different, but it's not
19.
different. So
Okay.
I'm
so
not rolling well today.
19 total. So you
Pretty
end up.
reasonable on a need.
You've got a pretty solid idea that if you can pin. Let me pull that picture back up again of the captured Sibriex. You get the idea that this chain on the left there. Sorry, are you? Yeah, on the left. That one is probably the most vulnerable to being struck, but you don't see any. I mean, it's infernal iron, so I mean it looks rusty to begin with, so it's a little hard to tell exactly. But you could tell a little above the anchor point here is probably the best spot to hit. Whether your arrows or not would be up to that task. It'd be a certain amount of damage, so you can do that.
All right. So I'm gonna bonus action drop my hunter's mark on the creature. Hunter's mark that chain with a
Oh,
first
okay.
level,
All right.
and I'm going to try to just hit it and break it.
All right. Go for it. Make your roll.
Don't know how that's gonna be, but
You do enough damage.
17 for the first hit,
That hits.
and that is a 17 damage.
Not bad. The chain seems. It definitely takes the hit of and bounces off. It's damaged, but it probably isn't doing as much damage as you would hope. So it's-
Right.
Does magic override that?
Hmm.
Does
Hold on.
magic damage override that?
Well, it's not that. It's just that it's
Okay,
not
no, it's asking,
particularly vulnerable to piercing damage from this distance, but it is
Sure.
taking some damage.
24,
24 is a definite hit.
and that's another 12 damage.
All right. All right. It's definitely.
With any luck, I've loosened it enough that he can pull it off.
Well, hopefully. I mean, it's a giant floating, twisted brain thing, and it does appear to have been damaged a bit, but it's still holding for now. So we'll see. All right, coming up next, that would be the Chain Devils. So, lacking anything obvious for them to attack, they kind of spread out a little bit, especially the ones that would keep getting blasted. They scramble to their feet, and seeing where the wyvern is flying, a couple of them go running in that general direction, but they don't get that far. That giant brain thing is in the way. There we go. One of them, just looking around for an attacker, runs almost directly beneath Valerie, just kind of spreading out and trying to find a target. And the Ice Devil is still casting around looking for him and sees the wyvern that's now flying with purpose towards the cliff face, looks in that direction and can see where all these arrows go, and begins moving in that direction. And gets to about here in the round. And I'll put that guy back. All right. One thing you do notice, Darmita, is as you've been damaging this chain, one of the chain devils that was hanging from the cliff face turns and sees you attacking it, the chains, and kind of extends its hand, and some of the chains kind of writhe and just try to reinforce the anchor point, just adding extra, almost like twine wrapping around the existing thicker chain that's holding it in place. So it's you get the idea that it's this one just next to Valerie there, about 10 feet away from Valerie, that's literally 15 feet up the cliff, hanging from these hooks in its flesh of its own chains. And it's basically in charge of keeping this Sibriex in place. And so it's trying to reinforce the damage that you have done. Okay. Doesn't seem to be too successful, but it does appear to be trying to reinforce the binds. And that, again, is that one right there. All right, coming up next, top of the order, Valerie.
Alright, so he's holding the chains, like another chain devil below me. And this wyvern here is flying away.
It is flying away. It doesn't appear to have spotted you.
Alright. I am gonna cast Brightness. So
Alright.
I'm gonna expend my gem brightness five charges. And to do a 30-foot cone.
Where do you want it?
Hold on, can I draw? Around there? Oh, hold on, that didn't really draw anything, did it?
I didn't see it. Are you aiming at the ice devil?
Oh, like a... You...
Oh, just around
Darcy,
you.
don't judge me, man.
That's all good.
30-foot cone.
Like pretty much directly below you, so you can catch both of them, the chain
That's right.
devils. Okay. So you kind of fly a few flaps up, and then just aim this thing down and shield your own eyes for a second. It just goes, and the whole area is just illuminated. Even if it's not officially in the cone, this naturally dim plane of red and dust is just suddenly lit up with this. It's as though the sky, like a bright afternoon skyscape, like complete with like white afterburn into your eyes, just flashes below. And those guys need to save versus blindness. Yeah.
Yeah, DC 15 Constitution.
Oh, okay. And one of them fails. So I'm gonna say the one on the ground is fine because it was facing away, but the one that was trying to reinforce the chains kind of has just enough time to look towards it as you kind of flap and become visible, and it looks up and catches it right in the snoot, and just and its chains just instinctively constrict, trying to block the light, and the fleshy mortal inside is just like,
oh, that's not very good. So,
all right,
I'll move almost right beside him.
Mm-hmm.
And am I allowed to use a bonus action, or do I have to have after I attack? Okay. So I can't spend a key point to do flurry of blows because.
Yeah, I think it only queues
Gem of
after
Brightness
another attack, but you can get in position.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and you're right next to the chain
alright.
that is anchoring this thing. One of the chains.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just put a little whoop. There it is, and then whoop, and there was a second one over there. Okay, coming up next, Fenris.
Okay, how far away is this wyvern from us?
From you, well, from Darmita, 5, 10, 15, 20, and another maybe 10 up.
Okay, not that far away.
No, it's pretty close. It's closing fast. It's massive leathery wings flapping. The chain devil on the top starts getting this lasso style chain, just looking down at you like an extra from Mad Max.
Right. I hate burning through stuff, so damn. Okie dokie. I am going to. I'm gonna cast. Do I want to cast Hold Monster or Telekinesis? I think I'm gonna cast Telekinesis.
All right. So it's up. You can now grab things with your mind. What do you want to do with it?
I'm gonna grab the wyvern.
Okay. Just grab it by the long, skinny neck.
Basically, it's you said it's like 30 or 40 feet in the air. I'm just gonna restrain it.
About 35 feet up in the air.
On there. Okay.
All right. You can't restrain, but you can grapple it.
No, the move itself.
No, it is restrained. It's an ability check against each other to see if I can grab and move.
Sorry, I thought it was a grapple check, but that's cool. Restrain. All right, make your roll.
So we roll off.
Yeah.
Not a saving throw.
So it doesn't get magic resist. Well, it's a wyvern. wouldn't have it anyway.
Yeah, but
All right, what'd you get?
22.
22. Nice. That's pretty darn good. Certainly beats the 9 that I rolled. So that probably takes effect. I'm just going to look up. Wyvern.
Well, I got +5.
Cool. I wonder how high in the sky it is.
35 feet. And it is unable... Where is it? Sorry, 1 second. I was like, hey, they've got air support. That's what I'm going to say. And then I didn't look it up. All right. Yeah, it definitely fails. It's pretty strong, though, but it definitely fails.
So can I lift it? Like, I can move it 30 feet, right? And it's restrained, where its speed goes to 0.
Absolutely.
So can I lift it 30 feet and then just, let it fall?
It's a flying creature, so if you stop kind of willing it to move, it will resume flying. However, if you wanted it to take a tumble, you could probably have that happen.
Yeah, well, I'm just basically going to grab it with my mind and just fling it down then.
Okay. Absolutely.
Right.
And I'm going to, because you're pulling in the direction of the ground, you can slam it. I'll give you the 5 feet for free.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's restrained, so it's like...
It can't resist at that point. At the last few seconds, it's like, and then, boom. All right, so it does get a chance to try to soak a little, especially the chain devil on its back tries to do acrobatics. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's restrained, his speed becomes 0. Yeah.
Now, you grab the wyvern, so the chain devil's actually free to move.
Yeah.
So the chain devil, the chains kind of coil up underneath it as though it's gathering like a spring to leap. And then as you go to, as the wyvern suddenly stops, it springs off in the air rather than go with it. And it's going to basically roll acrobatics and try to grasp at something. And it's only about, maybe 10 feet from the nearest cliff face. And it's got long reach with those chains. So what ends up happening is both of those just fall out of sight as you slam it down towards the ground. And and you don't know exactly what happened to that chain devil, but you hear the of the wyvern impacting the ground. So by my home rules, it's 2d6 per 10 feet fallen. So that's going to be 6d6. I'll do 7, round it up. 5 feet, it's a d6. That's basically the home rule. All right, that's not bad. Actually, do you want to roll it, or should I do it?
Sure. 76.
Yep, 76 damage.
That's cool. I like that better than
31.
2 per 10, saying 1 per 5. That's nice.
Makes it easier. How much?
Makes it easier, and it means you're not like,
31 damage.
31
35
damage.
feet.
Nice. All right. So it hits the ground and it's still alive. That was the worst wyvern cry I've ever done. I haven't done that, man.
Filters it out. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, it hits the ground with this whimpery sound, and the wings are trying to flap and get it up, but the telekinesis is still holding on. Coming up next, Henrietta.
Hi. So there's been a lot of commotion going on over there. I'm gonna take a peek.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a peek.
So you go a little bit closer, and
you
poke your head up over, and you can see where the wyvern is hit. But more immediately, you see these clawed chains, 2 of them, hanging off of the cliff, just recently embedded, not very far away from where you're currently grasping, as this chain devil has only gone about halfway down, and its clawed chains are holding it to the cliff face, and it's starting to climb up, and it just hisses up at you.
Cool. What I would like to see, and you can make a ruling on that, is on Darmita's turn, or a little bit after. She shot the thing. I want to see the progress on that. Looks like it's happening, except this chain devil is adding stuff to it. Sort of magically animating chains to reinforce, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and cast a spell magic on that reinforcement.
All right.
This should technically not work, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's
I
fun.
mean, it is like a magical effect.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do that flat because it's not technically a spell. So increasing my level to increase the level of spells it can dispel isn't gonna really do anything as far as I can tell. So if you'd like me to roll, I can roll.
I'm gonna. How much do you know about devils? I'm gonna get you to do
I know what I've been taught, and what I've been taught has probably not been super accurate.
Well,
I can make a
you
check.
gather things. You're a bard. You pick stuff up. Can you do either an Arcana check or a religion check for me?
We'll make a religion check. That is where most of my knowledge comes from. It's a 20.
All right. So you know well enough that certain creatures cast spells and literally spells. Other ones just have abilities, and they're not technically spells. And these chains, these are kind of infernal bargain, almost like a parasite, more than a spell. So you know at a glance, you're like, I could. Oh wait, it's not a spell. So you know in advance that it would be ineffective.
You're gonna just like have it not work. Okay.
Sorry,
I was hoping it would work anyway because we've had precedent of using dispel magic narratively instead of literally. But sure.
What kind of bard are you? If you don't mind me asking.
Lore bard, yeah.
Lore bard?
Lore, yeah.
I mean, cutting words.
Are you gonna offer me a devil's bargain? Is that what you're gonna do right now?
Oh, I could do that too if you'd rather. Cutting words would affect it if it was an ability check. I could let you spend that in advance if you like, or at the time.
What do you mean?
It's attempting basically to hold on to these anchor points. That's an ability check of it.
Oh, the devil?
Yeah. And so it's trying to wrap its chains around as though it's an extension of its hand and hold on to this to keep this thing anchored. If you were to cutting words it would lose some.
Okay, that's
on its
a
roll.
reaction.
It is technically. I'm just letting you know that is an option.
Sure, I'll do another message then to be like, it's the chains are weakening. Focus there, pull, and then I'll be ready to cutting words to assist in the contested check that I'm trying to angle for. Does that make sense? Does that work?
Give us. We give you. Good.
It's not the most
Yeah,
verbose.
let's go for that instead. That works.
All right, and you're just getting ready to cutting words at these chains of the chain devil that is literally like 5 feet from your face. Not the chain devil, but the chains are scratching along, and just as it's tugging its way up towards you.
I like pull up my shield just like preemptively. That's part of the reason why I moved actually, because I got all this like defend people near you stuff that's not effective at more than like 10 feet. So
Absolutely. All right, Fenris, can you do an ability check for me? It's contested as this wyvern that you've got restricted tries to break free.
No, it's restrained to the end of my next turn.
Oh, it just did. Never mind then. Never mind.
Much, yeah.
It's just on the ground, all bound up in invisible, squishy shadows writhing around it. All right, the other wyvern is going to look around. Oh, actually, Fellery is now visible, so that wyvern spins around as much as it can in the air, arcs around, having to travel a few feet as it does, and it begins to circle back around, just brushing the cliff top with its claws as it reaches down to try and get at this glowing, incredibly brilliantly bright wielding creature, and it's going to come around and try to attack you.
Okay.
With its claws. Actually, it's one claw attack, one stinger attack. The stinger of it just wrapping over top like a scorpion just slams into the rock face just to your left with a 5, and then its claws, it reaches out just and tries to claw at you. Does 26 hit your AC?
It It would, but I'm gonna use the key point to use dodge as a bonus action.
I was kind of kidding. I assumed that would.
It would hit me, but I'm using.
I think you have to spend that in advance.
Yeah,
Oh,
you have
really?
to do it on. Yeah, it's a bonus action on a reaction.
Bloody hell. Well
So
then, yeah.
if you didn't spend your bonus action, I could let you do that.
No, don't.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Play
So
it out.
unfortunately, that does hit. So that's going to be 11 points of piercing damage as the claws just tear into you. As it tears a little chunk out of you, some feathers off into the incredibly fetid sky. All right. It gets a little scratch on you as it goes past you. The chain devil on its back also takes a swing at you.
Okay.
Actually, hold on a sec. No, that's not it. So it's gonna swing at you. Does 18 hit your AC?
Oh.
Okay, and its second attack. Does 20 hit your AC?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you to do a. Okay, it actually just happens. So the first chain just again slams against the rock. The second one hits you just in the leg, wraps around your leg, binding fast. You are considered grappled. And so as the wyvern goes by, it begins to. It's going to be dragging you. You have just enough length of chain to notice. Oh, that's on me. Oh, that's moving. Okay.
Wow.
Coming up next, we've got that was the wyvern. Next up is the ice devil. The ice devil runs up as though to help this wyvern that's being bound by Fenris, and goes right up to it and then leaps its long insectine legs, just springing it up onto the back of this wyvern, and this thing like screeches and almost pitifully calls out in its wyvern voice to try and as though it's asking for help, and this devil just leaps off of it, springboarding it like it's just a stepping stone to where it wants to be. 5, 10, and then it makes a leap, and it's going to try to get up this cliff face. Oh, I should only have rolled once. Let's see. They're fairly strong. Ooh, they are very strong. All right, that makes it. So it leaps off of the wyvern's back and grabs on to the chain devil that is attempting to scale this cliff, and just latches on heavily, and they both slam against the surface. The ice devil just grinding the chain devil's face into the wall, and then begins to climb. And that's its. Actually, hold on. Its turn would end there, and then it's going to spend its turn dashing to climb.
Cool. Makes sense. Yep.
And so 5, 10.
It has half movement, I assume.
Yeah, it does. So it spends all 30 of its move, but it gets right to the top of this cliff face, just standing over Henrietta and Darmita, and it's right base to base with Henrietta. It's even a little bit higher than you. Its
Cool.
legs kind of equal with your chest, and it's just this massive pike just hissing in the air. It's so cold. All right, coming up next,
Cool.
Darmita.
Okay. Let me see. I see him coming. I see this over here. I'm going. Fuck, am I wasting my time or what? And 2 more shots at my mark.
At the chain. Sure thing. Make your roll.
Probably totally
That's
26.
A hit with 26. How much damage?
Wow.
13.
13, yeah.
All right. And with us,
I was trying to do reverse math.
and it was the hunter's mark that pushed you over the top. The front chain just The wyvern's in the way, but the front chain is no more as the arrow finally strikes true and just the one chain just dangling loose. The other one is still heavy.
Really?
Yeah, you got that one. You still have another attack. And a bonus.
Do
action.
Whatever you
And a
want.
move.
Do I think with that thing that, hit that he'll be able to get himself out without me undoing the other one
It's such a strange
based
creature.
on my previous thing?
Then 19.
You're not entirely certain how strong these things are. They're giant floating bulbous brains. It's hard to tell.
Okay. All right, then I'll move. I guess bonus action move the thing because I don't know how this would work mechanically.
You haven't spent your
Technically-
bonus.
Technically, it's not a creature, so you can't target with Hunter's Mark anyway. But
That's kind of true. I let that slide.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? You do have two devils close in range.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, Yafen. Appreciate that. Yeah, my internet has been rough.
Yeah.
take a look.
I'm going to. Yeah, I will move. If you let me, I'll move my hunter's mark to the other one in some
Sure.
weirdness way and take another strike at the new one.
Sure. So the second chain is marked. I'll say that's a house rule.
Oof.
You shoot against targets all the time. You should be able to be like,
you get to what? Try again once.
I do. Thank you. That is my stalker's flurry. Yes, I do have that.
Cool.
Once per
one?
round.
Try that again.
Yeah. 19.
all right. That does hit. So
And-
actually, hold on. Technically, you're
13.
firing a second time, so it's not that first one goes pretty wild, and for a second you're just like, and you're kind of thrown by all this as this ice devil is hovering over top of you, like 10 feet to your right, just this cold emanating from this thing, and you just glance up at it, and you go to fire again, and the first shot just goes something weird. It actually goes, and it bounces off of the rock directly in front of you. Henrietta, can I get you to do a dexterity saving throw, please?
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. I mean, I'm happy to do it this way. I think it's cooler.
It's
I'm
more like a
pretty sure
twitch
by the
kind of
book,
threw her
you
off.
actually don't fire a second time. It's that you just roll it again. You just re-roll.
Yeah.
But
I just
what is it? A
assumed-
dex?
I
a dex
thought it
save?
was she gets another
Or
shot
is
I get-
acrobatics check?
I get a second shot.
if you
if
miss.
I-
So that's what
yeah,
this is.
If I
if we
missed-
were like counting ammo, I'd be really curious on the ruling because I don't think it does the way I've read it, but I don't care. Is it dex save
Wait.
or is it acrobatics?
It dex.
Okay. Dex save. I get my aura to this, so it is 18.
Unfortunately, it still hits. Roll damage, please, Darmita.
But I haven't been marked.
No.
No, you haven't.
Wait,
No.
I get hit based on my failed dex save? That's not how attacks work.
That's not how attacks normally work. No.
No. It's not.
I get so
We
I
can just
don't
take
have
the damage
to,
roll from
I don't
before.
have to roll the damage.
It's already
10.
there. 10 points of
Oh, yeah.
damage to you,
Piercing.
Henrietta, as one of the arrows just hits you in the back of the calf
Ah!
as she let one go too fast. The second shot, however, she just ignores Henrietta's cry of pain, and next one goes and hits, and it does 12 points of damage. It's hitting the chain. It's doing damage. It doesn't do quite... Oh, sorry, 14. It still hasn't done quite enough damage to that chain, but it is weakening it. All right,
All
coming
right.
up next.
And then I'm gonna move,
Okay, you go scrambling back. Fair enough.
and I'm gonna try to hide in the shadows, kind of over here.
Right. Try to find some actual darkness and not just...
Okay, so as
dim
you go
light.
scrambling back, the ice devil, it's got 10 feet of reach. It's going to take a shot at you.
Screw it. I'll impose disadvantage instead of
Nice.
instead of cutting words.
Okay.
So I bring my shield up. That's a thing I can do.
You definitely
I have
do.
the protection.
So
I've
what
never
would
used
have
it.
been this massive chitinous tail swinging around at Darmita. What would have been a 24 becomes a 16. So
glad.
does that hit you, Darmita? Whew.
No.
Yeah, those tails are nasty. We've
The
seen
first
them
one
before.
would have hit
Actually,
me.
no. I don't think we have seen an ice devil tail. We've only
No,
seen
you
the
haven't
bone
seen
devil.
ice devils that I know of.
No.
All right,
Oh,
so
well.
this thing is
Let's do it
bizarre.
then.
All right, coming up next, it will be, that was Darmita, bottom of the order, Chain Devils. All right, this Chain Devil that's on the cliff climbs and gets to about here, 5, 10, so that'd be 10 to be 20, and it's still got 10 points of movement, so it steps around Henrietta to get base to base with both Fenris and Henrietta, providing
Oh, they go to the other side. Ah, dang.
Yeah, it
Hoping I
climbed
can
up.
keep them on
and,
the edge.
Unfortunately, with everything else going around, it goes up and
Okay.
around. Other than that, the Chain Devils just kind of close a little bit and begin kind of scratching their way up the cliff. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There we go. And this one starts going up towards Valerie because it wasn't blinded. 5. And then it climbs for 20. Yeah, it gets to the top, but that's it. It has to spend its whole action to do so. And then this one, which was blinded, is just going to lash out. It's technically close enough to hit Valerie, but it is blind. So it's going to try it. Sorry?
Am I grappled by the Chain Devil that's flying? So
You're
aren't I
grappled by
flying
the
with
Chain
it?
Devil that is flying, yes. And it's on the back of that wyvern.
So aren't I flying with it? So how would the other
It
Chain Devil...
hasn't had its turn yet, so when it goes, it will drag you with it. Effectively, narratively, the chain is spooling out, and it's wrapped around both of your legs, and you're like, oh crap. You can see what's coming, but that's it. All right, so the Chain Devil that's just below you on the cliff face takes a swing at you, although it only has a vague idea of where you are, so it's with disadvantage. And that's only a 4, so that's going to miss. 12 doesn't hit your AC.
No,
Okay.
no, it does not.
And I think that was actually the same one. Let me just ungroup that bad boy. There we go. Okay, that one is on the back of the wyvern. That's the one you're chained to. All right, that's it. Okay, that guy just not there. And these groupings are kind of bothering me. That guy was on the back, but I moved him. There we go. So there we go. Okay, coming up next, top of the order, Valerie.
So I got a question for you there, DM. So I have a chain attached to me. Is there any possible way that with my fast movement and whatnot, having a chain wrapped around me, that I can also wrap it around the wyvern's neck? Just asking for a friend.
You would have to be able to get up to the wyvern's neck. And it's technically being dragged along, like the chain that you're attached to is on the back of the wyvern and the Chain Devil there. So attaching that to the...
AT this thing.
Sorry?
You're going to AT this thing.
Now, you can
either
definitely...
the neck or the wing,
Okay, I have a question for you, Todd. How
Sure.
fast does the wyvern go versus how fast does Valerie fly?
Well, that's a great question. All right. Wyverns, let's get our fly off. 80 feet. What's yours?
Not
Never mind.
Yeah. So you see how fast this thing is moving, and no, you've got a few milliseconds before this thing does take you away. But there may be other things around you could wrap it around. So looking around, you see 2 Chain Devils right near you. You see the big anchor point for the Sibriex just in front of you. Actually, one of Darmita's arrows damn near took your hand off when it ricocheted off this chain. You can see this large gouge on it.
So let's do that. If I have enough time, if I can go in underneath the chain and wrap it around there.
All right. Can I get you to do... in this case, I will allow either acrobatics or athletics, as you're effectively trying to grapple the chain that is holding the Sibriex by the chain that is holding your legs. So go ahead.
All right.
It's in the bone. It's in the bone. It is. That was, I assume, for Henrietta there, Yaofen. The back of the leg. Ow.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
23.
23. Nice. You basically scoot underneath this thing and then have just enough time to kind of cinch it off and like twist it back on itself. And then that is your action. Do you want to do any bonus or move? You can't move, technically.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Actually, you know what? I would allow that as your move action, if you like. Because technically you're just going whoop, whoop.
Oh, yeah, that's my understanding.
Yep,
Yeah,
so you
same here.
still have an action and a bonus action.
Yeah, unless you needed a dash to pull it off, it shouldn't be an action.
No, it's
I'm
5
going to
feet
use
from
2
you.
key points and cast darkness.
Ooh, that
Okay.
sounds...
Where do you want that?
Hmm.
I'll cast it on the chain devil on top of the wyvern. So that should engulf the wyvern as well.
It's true.
Okay. All right, and it's 20 feet, right?
Yeah, Whippin should be able to see.
Darkness is 60 feet.
Oh, well, I meant the radius.
Oh. Is at 15 foot.
Okay, good enough. All right, so you have cast darkness, and the back of this
Again,
wyvern
that
just...
is radius, not diameter.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
So
30.
your
really.
your instincts were, yeah.
I'll make that even a little bigger. There we go. Boom. The entire wyvern is just enveloped in darkness. And you can hear it, you can see it, and all you see is this chain disappearing
Jesus Christ,
into the darkness,
What's that?
which goes back around the Sibriex chain and then around your legs. And that...
Okay, so one, I got a bonus action. So
you do.
what would be the benefit of patient defense then if I use it now? So then next time somebody hits me, I get the dodge?
If they hit you before your next turn. Like,
Yep.
if someone attacks before your next turn.
All right, well, the chances of that happening are pretty high. So I'm going to spend a key point and go on patient defense.
Nice. All right, so
And
you...
that will last the whole turn. So if you
Yeah.
get attacked multiple times, you get, disadvantage on all of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Nice.
guess that's the bonus of being in top of the order.
Definitely. All right, coming up next, Fenris.
Right. Okay. So there's a chain devil near me. There's an ice devil near Henrietta.
Mhm.
I am going to try to use telekinesis to manhandle the chain devil.
All right. That'll free the wyvern.
The wyvern's still restrained till the end of the turn,
Oh, okay.
and then it's free unless
Nice.
I try to reassert control. So
Oh, right.
the wyvern will
Okay.
be free after this.
Is that right? I figured
Yep.
you'd have to choose whether or not you're doing that or you're attacking someone else. But I don't know, so not my spell.
Anyway, regardless, it's the end of his turn soon enough, so...
Yeah, I
think
have
mechanically
the
it all
spell
works
up
out.
right now. It's
All right.
restrained to the end of the turn unless I reasserted control.
Nice.
Then it'd be-
And that's what
so
you're
make
doing.
your
You're reasserting control.
ability
Yeah.
check.
No, I'm not. I'm doing it on the chain devil now.
So go ahead and make your ability check.
Okie dokie.
And this thing does have advantage. It is technically magical.
Okay. Not great. 14.
Not phenomenal.
So
I
here's a few
will-
things about chains.
Yeah. You know what? I will spend. I don't know if I want to spend a luck point. No,
Sure.
I won't spend the luck point. That's
No?
fine.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, you might get worse.
So
You have to take
14 is the total with the mod, right? You rolled a
Yep.
9?
Yeah.
All
I
right,
rolled a
so
9.
it's the advantage that gets you, unfortunately. The chain devil, as the shadows kind of just hem this thing in, just take up more space around it, restricting its movement. This chain devil just goes, and these chains go shooting off anime style, just kind of pressing through your darkness. It got a 16. Didn't win by much, but it just pulled it off.
Okay. And I am going to spend 2 sorcery points
Okay. And what do you want to do?
I'm going to cast another spell.
Cool. Quickened cantrip.
Sorry, what's that?
I said quickened cantrip.
That's
It doesn't have to be a
sorcery
cantrip.
slot. I mean,
Technically,
right? You didn't cast a spell. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
you're
that's right.
Using another
Yeah.
spell.
Yeah.
you're using the
point.
ability. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, what do you want to
So, E-I-O. I am going to cast. Actually, you know what? I won't spend the 2 sorcery points. I'm just going to Misty Step
cast? Okay.
my bonus action to get out of there.
Very
Cool.
in character for you.
Yeah, well,
Where do you want to go?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Boom.
Nice.
Just to get some room.
The shadows just envelop you, and you're just no longer there. Appearing not too far from where Darmita is, just crouched in the shadows next to kind of an outcropping of rock, past kind of where you had a major approach. All right,
Yep.
coming up next would be the wyverns. The one that is now free is manages to right itself and begins to get itself up because it was down. So it's going to spend half its move just doing that. And then it's going to take to the skies and start flapping up into the air. And it gets to probably about here and only about 10 feet up. So it's now at the base of the cliff looking up, and it's now just starting to rise up what would be about a 15-20 foot cliff depending on where you climb it. That's that one. The other one spends it can't see, so it just keeps flying in lacking any other instructions from the chain devil that is riding it, and it moves 80 feet in a straight direction, and the chain that binds everything together, this back of this chain devil, you can see it loosely trailing along, and then it begins to get tighter and tighter, and then suddenly very tight, and this whole thing begins to circle around, and the chain devil on its back has to do a saving throw to stay on its back, because it's not just Valerie anymore.
Gotcha. I understand.
That is not terribly good. That's a 9. So the wyvern keeps flying out of the darkness, and this darkness just suddenly begins to fall. Now, Valerie, I need you to do a strength saving throw.
Does the chain have to do a strength
Oh,
saving?
we're gonna get to that. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Oh, 15.
Admirable.
And DM rolled a nat 1. The chain that is holding the Sibriex, damaged by Darmita's arrows, just prior to this chain devil being flung off the back of its wyvern mount. The Valerie gets dragged about 5 feet along, dragged along the stone, but manages to stay on the cliff face and not go plummeting down the cliff. Your legs are still bound up, but in the chain devil's chain. But the globe of darkness, which was about 40 feet in the air, is now on the ground. Ed, Carl, you arranged all that. How about you roll the 8d6 damage for our chain devil friend?
8d6. With pleasure.
It is resistant, though.
It
Non-magical.
is resistant.
Falling damage? Oh,
Non-magical.
that makes sense. Yeah, because it's not magical. Yeah, it makes sense.
8 and then d6.
Magical falling damage.
Magical falling.
I guess it depends on what it lands on. Anybody want to put a Holy Avenger just sitting on the ground, rusty old thing? Spend a plot point? Anybody? Internet?
I'd spend some plot points for that. I got
all the arrows you missed with.
13.7k worth of plot points.
Yeah, you got some.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's at 52,000.
Ooh.
Nice.
23 points of damage from
joking.
falling. Halved. I'll say it's 12. 12 points of falling damage to this chain devil. Oof! As you hear it hit the ground. You don't see anything. It's just darkness. And you're half dragged. Bless this thy only avenger. Eh, Seraph? You got some plot points. You can make it happen.
Using plot points to make our lives easier? What is this?
Yeah, it's true.
Never
All right.
once. I don't know if that's
Meanwhile.
true. It probably has been plenty of times.
So that's and the wyvern, now riderless, is circling around slowly at a distance, just kind of taking it all in. All right, coming up next, we have the Ice Devil standing base to base with Henrietta.
I thought I went before them. Okay.
Oh, sorry, you're right, Henrietta.
Cool. So yeah, I finished my last thing. Look up as this devil, stands up over me, tries to attack past me. I interpose my shield so that it doesn't hit Darmita, and I'm like, "Whoa, close! You getting too close there, buddy." And I'm gonna push them off the edge.
Nice. Go ahead and make the athletics check.
Like, whoa, boing. Where's my athletics? 23. Hopefully that's good enough.
It does not get advantage on this. All right, that is not. That's only a 12. You shoved this thing.
Does touching an ice devil hurt me?
Sorry?
Does touching an ice devil hurt me?
No, not specifically.
Cool. Great. So I pushed them, I think, just 5 feet, so they start tumbling.
Yeah. And
depending on their footing, they
devil...
might not fall, or they might take more than falling damage because they're tumbling, and that's worse.
Here's the thing. Amongst all the devils, these ones have no wings and no flight.
Nice.
It just plummets. And reaching, it's going to try an acrobatics check to soak some of the damage on the way down. Roll to 5.
Well, I see a friend down there.
Yeah.
Can I have them land on that friend? Obviously,
which
not
friend?
Intentionally doing that.
You could. It's falling towards the wyvern or the other chain devil.
I meant the chain devil down there. It seems most likely that would be the trajectory of its descent.
All right, for sure.
Like this.
So you shove it, and the wyvern kind of moves its long serpentine neck out of the way, dodging the falling ice devil as it pivots around. And the ice devil plummets and lands right on top of the other guy. Can you go ahead and roll from, what was that, 20? It was up 20 feet totally on the top of its thing. So that's going to be 4d6, please.
46?
To both of them, halved.
To both of them?
Mm-hmm.
So just roll once, though. Okay, so that's 12.
12 total? All right, so they take 6.
The 46 is 12, yeah.
Yeah. So they take a total of 6 damage then. Still, that's better than nothing. And it was.
I get a second attack, so I'm gonna grab the chain devil and be like, "Hold it there, buddy."
Okay, make your grapple.
And I'll make another grapple.
Absolutely.
So you can do that.
This chain devil is a beast. Oh man.
And I rolled badly. I got a 14. That's
this
a
thing...
2 on the die. A natural 2 on that die.
Whew. This thing rolled a natural 19 plus 4 is 23. So yeah, you do not manage to restrain it.
Cool.
Just for flavor, you go to grab this thing, and you grab where you're pretty sure its arm is, and the chains just kind of wriggle and writhe, allowing your arm to go through, and you can actually touch this kind of clammy, like, fleshy humanoid being that's been wrapped and surrogated underneath all this chain. And then you kind of retreat for a second, and the chains just kind of slither out from underneath your immediate grip. All right, coming up next. That's going to be, and now it's the Ice Devil at the bottom of the cliff, picks itself up, and steps on the other chain devil's face as it stands up, and then just hisses. And you pissed him off. He's going to see if he can do his special ability here.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry guys, we're kind of blasting past any break. We could take a little break if you want to. He needs it, or in a little bit. Just asking.
Yeah, I feel like this combat.
Maybe in a little bit. Just gonna let my dog out.
Yeah, maybe 15 minutes. So that'll be close enough to letting my dogs out as well.
Fair.
Not too early, not too late.
All right, so this ice devil looks up and just takes a deep breath in and then exhales and creates this wall of ice, magically opaque wall of ice on a surface it can see within 60 feet, 1 foot thick, 30 feet long, 10 feet high, or a hemispherical dome.
Okay.
You can I get Henrietta to do
Can
a
it see the place I'm standing?
well, maybe not without moving. So it's gonna
The
move
bottom
over
of a
this way.
cliff. That's just. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, it's actually gonna. It's got 5, 10.
But they can probably
15.
see me. I mean, they probably can't see me. But even if they could see me, I don't think they could see my feet, right?
No. So what it's going to do is it's going to just create this dome of ice above where it can see, which will then fall down a 20-foot. 20
What
foot? Yeah.
does the ability say?
It says a lot, but it says it can form on any surface it can see within 60 feet,
Right.
or a hemispherical
What
dome.
surface are you targeting?
It's targeting the very top of the cliff right there.
Oh, okay, I see. So that
So it won't
hit
be perfect. I'm going to give you advantage on this saving throw. You can do a dexterity 17 saving throw.
Oh, do you think I can? Wow, thank you. I can. You're right. Wow, that's so nice of you. I got a 24.
All right. So you have just enough time, and it's because it's freezing from the wall and starting to arc over top of you. There's
Ooh.
as this ice starts to form this dome, and you see, wait a minute, if I stay here, it's going to enclose me. So you can step out in any direction you want. So go ahead and place
Oh.
yourself outside of that
Does this
circle.
count as movement for attacks of opportunity? Or is this considered forced because it's by an ability?
It is kind of forced. So, I mean, also
I
this
see
thing
there's
has
this friend
10-foot
here
reach
that-
anyway. So,
What is the technical allowance? It's giving me movement I wouldn't normally have, right?
It says when the wall appears, each creature in the space is pushed out by the shortest route. It chooses which side it ends up on, unless it's incapacitated. So
By the
you
shortest
get-
route. Okay, so I have to go at the close side.
Yeah. So
Okay, so let me
technically,
just
that's
take a
this
look
way.
at my options. All of these are pretty. These are like equidistant, basically. As far
But
as I
there's
can
kind
go.
of stone there, so
Yeah,
it would make
so I'm
sense
gonna go
to.
this side. Okay, great. That sounds right because that would be up. Great. So I'll pop over here.
All right, and it is forced movement, so I'm gonna say it doesn't get the attack of opportunity. Lucky
Great.
you. And the
Does
chain
it
devil,
get to make a save?
the chain devil inside, that does get to make a save, and fails, and so it's too busy watching this happen, and you've already sidestepped out, and then the dome kind of goes into place, encasing it. All right, that was
I'll
a
take
waste
it.
of an ability. Oh, interesting. It's so cold it deals damage if you're too close to it.
Oh, so
we'll
I
come
also
back to
take
that.
damage. It doesn't say in it, right? It says too close to it.
It says then makes the dex save. So this is part of it. So
Oh, okay.
you would take 35 cold damage, but instead you take half.
Oh, wait. So I made a dex save to avoid damage. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
I have the move that lets me to negate it if I succeed.
Nice.
This
All right,
doesn't
you
make
take
any
no damage.
sense, but I guess my shield is between me and the cold, and so I don't get too cold. I don't know. That's the move.
There you go.
As long as it's a dex check, it works.
Well, it's in the frost is like a wall freezing immediately in front of you. You smash it through with the shield.
Master.
Yeah.
The shield master feat. Never
Nice.
used
Hey,
it
shield master
before.
finally came in handy. Twice
Yeah.
in a fight. All right,
No,
coming up
one
next.
protection, one shield master. They're different. I
Oh,
have two different shield
sorry.
abilities.
You are very shieldy. All right, next up. That was the Ice Devil. It is now Darmita. A lot of moving
Okay.
pieces.
Darmita's gonna take a quick look around. It looks like he's free.
Ooh.
Oh,
Sort
yeah.
of.
Henrietta?
Yeah, Sibriex.
Or the Sibriex? The
The
Sibriex is
Sibriex.
almost free. The one chain remaining on the far side over here is still holding it.
They can get rid of that. Why do they have 3 chains if they didn't need all 3 of them? Come on.
It's your call.
I mean, Sibriex hasn't taken any turns. Has it been
Nope.
doing
Yeah,
anything?
I'm
It's
actually
been
going to yell out,
talking with you.
focus on the enemies in front of us.
Take an action.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
You're going to free that Sibriex is probably just going to try to run away.
Probably. All right. I'm going to turn my focus and recast a level 1 hunter's mark on
On the big
him.
guy?
He's taken some damage.
The,
All right, you marked
And-
that wyvern again. That is, it's about 10 feet off the ground, and it looks like it's readying itself to really crest up over and fly.
Yeah. I'm going to try to just fucking nail it.
Nice. So you hop up on the rock face next to you just to get the better angle, and you just fire down towards it. Go ahead.
Okay.
20
25 for the first.
25 hits.
And for the second, that's a 21, so that's total. Whoops, I didn't do the 2.
Yep, both hit.
Wow. Okay. So,
22
I don't know what
and
the
6.
hell's 828.
28
Yeah.
damage. Nice. Nice. All right, that thing it's looking pretty hurt at this point. It's still kicking, but it is hurting.
And I'm going to then
Hey, Taka, welcome to the game. We're doing some Dungeons and
Take-
Dragons.
I'm gonna take my movement to 5.
The arrows just into the neck of this
30
serpentine
and-
creature.
I'm just gonna kind of crouch down in the shadows over here.
Absolutely. All right, so you hop up,
The
take your
best I
shots,
can.
then hop back down again. Okay. Coming up next, the chain devil scratches away at the inside. You can see these chains just scratching on the inside of that ice dome, just trying to claw its way out, and it's taking some damage, some cold damage in there. This one starts climbing up the rock, getting up and starts trying to climb up the rock face at the insistence of the bone of that ice devil. These two, the one that's not blinded, is going to take a shot at Valerie with its
Okay.
writhing chains. Actually, I keep forgetting Valerie. The one that's closest to you, 5 feet away, leans forward, and the chains retract away from the face. Normally, it's bound its face like these things retract away from its face. And can I get you to do a DC 14 saving throw?
On what? Strength, dex?
Wisdom. Sorry.
Whew. Barely did it. Good.
Oh, okay, you made it. Inside is this humanoid face just looking terrified and just torn up as these barbous chains have been dragging across it. And for a second in your vision, it warbles and then it solidifies. You give your head a little shake, and it is it's not enough to cause the effect, but you can see the face that is inside. What was the name of your friend who was killed?
Dear God. You gotta give me some notice on this, man. I don't have that story.
It's your backstory.
Well,
When
yeah,
you
I
went
know,
to
man,
graduate from monk school, you had two best friends. one of whom was slain in betrayal. What was their name? Otherwise, we let the internet name your friend.
Well, that's probably
Internet,
good, really.
you're in a race. If you want to make a suggestion for what to name Valerie's lost friend, perhaps lover, we don't know.
I don't know.
But their lost friend who was murdered brutally on their last day of training, betrayed by one of their very own order. A Aarakocra monk rising through the ranks would have been better, more noble, more fitting to join the ranks than Valerie even, but is lost and dead. And internet, we need the name of that dead bird person. We need it now.
Oh, Mac, I hate Apple.
You should have
Jesus
written your
Christ,
stuff
can't find
down, man.
anything.
You say their name's Mac Apple?
Mac
Is that what
Apple?
you just said?
That's right.
No, he's
Mac
just
Apple.
swearing at his computer.
Mac Apple. Wow.
Oh, that's a nice
Jesus
name.
Christ.
Lekar? How would that be pronounced? Kilakar? Kilakar. It's an Aarakocra name. A classic
of course.
Aarakocra name.
I
Kilakar.
was thinking Cleek, like, you
Oh,
know.
like Klikar. Klikar. I like it even better. Klikar. All right, Klikar. It's the face of Klikar. You see the beak, you see the face just looking out at you, and just as the chains go back to envelop it, you hear the cry, the muffled cry, "Help me!" And then it's gone. But it's not enough to actually have the game effect of frightening you. All right, up next. That it spends a technically that's a reaction, so it does get a chance to still swing at you. The chain devil just growls and rolls double nat ones. Double. So it's just like
Snake eye.
just trying to lash at you. And okay, here's what happens. The Sibriex, which hasn't done a whole lot so far, it goes to lash you and then just freezes. And you're just like,
Okay.
what? Is this like a statue? What's going on? All right, that is that chain devil's turn. The other one's still blind and isn't feeling that great. Okay. Okay, the other one kind of moves in the... I gotta move that for a second, sorry. Moves in the direction of all this noise and lashes out. Carl, do me a favor. Roll percentile dice.
D100.
Yep. Oh, I forgot to ask if you would be high or low.
Want me to re-roll it?
No. I'll just roll. If it's even, it's you. It's odd. Okay, so the chain devil swings at his buddy and doesn't do very well and doesn't actually hit him, so it's okay. It's just slashing away at the rocks. All right, coming up next, top of the order, Valerie.
I'm glad I used the dodge feat. Not feat, but all right. We got these two guys. The guy that I cast darkness on, is he no longer in the picture?
He fell down and he doesn't. You haven't seen it moving in a while, but it's still in darkness. It's kind of hard to tell. The dome
All
of the
right,
darkness
I'm gonna
just
spend one
ending
key
it.
point and disengage as a
Sure.
bonus action.
Done.
What?
You just do the
You know,
whole monk.
for
You squat down and just leap up in the air, and the chain devils are just like, what? Where do you want to go?
do I want to engage? No, I don't. I'll. Brightness is gone, yeah. Obviously, if I cast
yeah.
darkness.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am gonna turn invisible.
Okay.
Using my action, and then I'll fly close to the Sibriex.
All right. You head off that way, and the chain devils are just totally befuddled. Coming up, Fenris.
Right. So
Oh, don't worry,
that-
guys. When they all attack,
that dome of ice,
Mhm.
the chain devil's inside it, right?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wyvern is up in the air, right?
It is. In fact, the head of the wyvern is almost level with the cliff face right now.
Got it. I am going to use telekinesis, and I'm going to push the dome of ice into the wyvern.
Okay.
Huh.
That's going to be a fairly high difficulty, so I'm going to say you're doing your check with disadvantage to see if you can even just move this thing.
Versus what?
Well, I guess how big is it? Because I can move, let's see, an object, I can move 1,000 pounds. So,
all
It's
right.
not so much how much it weighs, right? It's how much like force is required to break it from the ground, I would imagine. 'Cause
It's,
like
it's going to
frozen
be a
to the
bit of
ground,
both.
right?
So I've got the
A bit of both.
DC
Yeah, a
in
bit of
my
both.
mind of what that should be. I'll get you to
Okay.
do your roll and at disadvantage because it's just that bulky.
Okay. That's one.
15.
Ooh. At disadvantage with a 15, the DC, and I'm not joking, was 15.
Good
So
to
you're
see.
just like, and it just shifts, and you can feel the you see the chain devil inside just get bashed forward and falls. Now, as the dome moves, it does crack a bit. It's not complete, so you
Yeah.
manage to
Right.
slide the whole thing over top of the cliff and just up and over. And as it goes up, the chain devil kind of huddles underneath and it scrapes out. So it's now free. But
That makes sense.
But the ice hovers at the edge of the cliff and then down onto this wyvern. Can I get you to roll? Actually, hold on. A couple things happen. Can you roll
Oh, this is cool.
46 as
Very
just
cool
bludgeoning
spell.
damage?
Yeah, I
To
know.
make
I
the
was like
DM.
thinking, who am I going to grab? Wait a minute. I think I'm going to grab the dome and just...
I'm gonna grab some ice.
11 damage, 46.
All right,
okay.
so the wyvern takes 11 damage, and it was already kind of hurting. Okay.
You're gonna try and trap
And
it
then
in a
it
thing. Alright, great.
continues to take the ice damage now that it's in the radius. So it's gonna try to resist. Oof, that's a fail.
Should I have taken damage before? Oh wait, no, we already talked about that. Sorry. Yeah. It was.
So that is going to take an additional 35 points of ice damage.
Wow.
That's a heavy thing. So you slam this thing and it just goes to the base of the cliff, bearing it all down. And you see the tail and the wings kind of twitching for a little while, just piled in this rubble of ice and some dirt and rock as well. And then the tail and the wings of the wyvern go still. And it's dead.
Okay.
You did it.
Okay.
You crushed it with its own ice thing.
Nice.
All right, nicely done.
Now that chain devil, he's hurt, but he's still on the...
He's still there, yeah.
Still there, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
It's looking pretty rough. Covered in a thick layer of frost, and you practically hear the human trapped inside. Just their teeth are just chattering so loudly they're probably breaking teeth. You, I believe, still have a bonus action
Yeah, I still have a bonus action.
and a move.
And a move. So I am going to... I'm going to bonus action, quick cast, blight on it.
Whew. All right, that's a Constitution save.
Constitution save, and even if he saves, he'll take half. So,
All right, it is with advantage.
yep. DC 17.
I rolled a 5 and a 3, so
Ooh.
that's not wonderful. The highest one would be 12, so that's a fail. Make your rolls.
Okay. 8d8 necrotic.
This probably will not end well for that creature.
So I kind of like see with one hand just kind of, reached out to push out, and then with the other hand, I just kind of, quickly just kind of make a grasping motion, and then shadows just kind of come up from underneath the chain devil and just start to kind of like a wolf's jaw from beneath and just snap shut on it, and he takes... I'm going to spend a Sork Point to, was it the expanded or whatever?
Yeah, go for it.
What's the term called? My brain is
yeah. Heighten
You mean
or
you want to
whatever it is.
empower it after you've rolled it?
Empower.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So
So I'm gonna re-roll the
oh,
two
you've already
one.
rolled. I see.
Yeah, the
All
two
right.
ones, the 2 and the 3. So I'll keep the 2 4s and the 2 6s. So I'll redo 48.
Nice. So the maw comes up and just grabs it and just disappears
better.
as smoke,
16,
and that smoke kind of
20,
seeps into its lungs and
36.
eyes and ears, and the thing just starts to gasp. So how much damage?
36.
Oh, that'll do it. That's it. So it's just like the jaws are gone, but it's inhaled this smoke that has gone past, and it's just gasping, and you see it just expire, falls to its. It was already on its knees, and it just claws forward towards Henrietta a little bit, and then and the chains just, and it's just bones and chain, and a little bit of flesh and blood, and that's it. That chain devil is gone. That's a big round, Fenris. All right, coming up next,
Done.
Henrietta. Unless you want to move, you do have a move.
Oh, I'll just kind of move a little over here.
Okay. Henrietta, you're standing by chance, right next to that imp. You look over, and that imp is doing this,
Oh yeah.
and it's pushing on this rock on the top of the cliff face. It hasn't managed to dislodge anything yet, and you look over and you see this right next to you.
Cool. Am I able to like climb up to get line of sight on like this chain devil and ice devil?
Yep. You actually, if you walk here, you don't even need to climb because it ducks down. It kind of it's a low point just to the right side of this imp.
All right. If I can easily climb on top, I'd rather. It's going to be more dramatic.
Sure, do it.
Yeah. So I pull my way up and I look down. And I don't speak calm. What am I thinking? I'm gonna do it anyway. I shout down at them like, "Give it up. You work for us now. Stand down. Yeah.
Exactly like that. Can you roll a intimidation check?
I think it's intimidation because that's the obvious threat is that the reason they would do that is because everyone is dead except for them. But I don't want them going and like telling their boss, right? So
yeah. I mean, the wyvern.
22.
22. Whew.
Would that be a disadvantage though?
What, to yell at someone?
Sure. I think intimidating someone in combat isn't at disadvantage. I think that's fair
enough.
It's not like you're persuading.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Devils are usually pretty charming, so yeah.
Yeah.
They would do well.
All right. So. Okay. So you see this ice devil look around, and it looks over at this dead wyvern crumpled underneath the ice, its own ice wall. And then it looks up. Hey, thanks for coming, Yuffin. And it looks over and sees this paladin of Pelor standing at the top, practically glowing in armor, calling down to surrender. And it's just holding this smoking ice lance. And it's just like... And the ice devil throws its lance to the ground in surrender and holds up its strange insectine hands and calls out back in this voice that's just like,
Fine. You. We surrender.
And then the chain devil underneath scrouches. That's a new word.
Scrouches, yeah.
Yeah, scrouches. That's canon now. Some guttural growl response in Infernal that I don't think you can understand.
I don't, but other people could. If they were
other people understand that it's like
hell we do. We fight to the end for Zariel.
And it just starts clawing its way up the cliff, and it gets about 10 feet up, and then
Nice. Fun.
nat 19,
Hey,
and then a giant
when you're
boulder
mid-tier,
goes.
you're a ladder climber at that level, right? That guy wants a promotion.
Yeah, he really did, but it's not going to happen because the imp finally pushed the boulder off, and it goes smash, hits the thing, and just right to the ground. Can I get you to roll? Let's go with 8d6.
Oh, me?
Yeah, it's all on your turn.
Sure. This goes up to 5, so I'll have to type it. 30.
That's pretty good. And this
A big
thing's been
rock.
tough.
I'm impressed by this imp.
Yep. Wham!
spent,
It is now pinned.
4
It's
rounds
still alive.
pushing a single rock, but still.
Yeah. It's still alive, but not. It's definitely badly hurt and pinned underneath. You can see its arms and legs just trying to move. The chain's trying to pull this block off of it as this rock has now brought it down off the cliff.
Yeah, I just looked
You
at
see
the
the
imp and
imp
I'm like,
standing
That'll do.
next. Yeah. And the imp is standing right next to you and looks up at you, and you're both standing in the exact same pose, like, you shall not. Yeah. And the imp kind of looks up at you and gives this nod, like,
Yeah. What she said.
all right. You
Does anyone want to kill
survey.
him anyway? 'Cause I mean,
Actually, you see the ice devil look at you and bend down and pick up the ice spear, the ice pike that it was using, and flip it upside down and walk over to this chain devil on the ground and look up at you, and the little imp gives a nod, and it just
of
goes
course the imp does.
and kills its one-time companion as a show of loyalty.
Wow.
Wow.
Taking in the battlefield.
Look at us.
Devil friend.
Making friends wherever we go.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I want to make friends with this Sibriex.
Yep. It's trying to pull away. It's still chained a little bit, but that's okay. You survey the battlefield. The last 2 chain devils kind of realize the tide has turned, and the one that can see goes leaping down, and the one that was enveloped in darkness, you can see the globe of darkness kind of bumping around as they both flee away. The wyvern that is now free of its servitude flies away, the one that wasn't dead. And the Sibriex is sitting there, still chained by one side. And there's this chain devil busy trying to feel its way around. But otherwise, the threat is gone. You quickly make short work of the blinded chain devil. And the rest of your enemies don't appear to be a threat. Unless you want to hunt them down.
And we got stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's your call.
Yeah, we have things to do. So
All right.
we've done our job here. We're making ourselves known as
Yes,
being
you
a
are.
threat.
No
Yeah.
kidding. All right. So you have successfully almost freed the Sibriex. What do you want to say to it? We'll come back for a short little recap after a 10-minute break of interrogating the Sibriex.
Okay.
Right on.
All right, everybody. Thanks very much. We'll be back in 10 minutes. And that's the button. Hi, Internet. We're back. We're going to pick up pretty much right where we left off, but don't forget you can always check out our stuff. Where are you? There you are. You can always check out our stuff on all our podcast episodes and our internet YouTube stuff. But yeah, podcast's actually getting some stuff. So thanks very much, especially Virginia. Love Virginia. Virginians apparently love us. So thanks very much. And all the viewers. And I haven't shouted out to Australia in a while, so thanks. Yeah. Who knows? Hey, if you run into my friend Bridget, tell her to listen. Anyway, because that's how it works, right? Everybody in Australia knows each other, right?
Also, they're more likely to run and have conversation with them.
It's true.
It's not a big country at all.
Not at all. It's just like the size of an entire continent. No big deal. Anyway, hi, we're back. So you have managed to defeat that which was holding the Sibriex. I keep saying different things. Sibriex, a breeder of horrors and a hoarder of secrets. A Sibriex is said to be as old as the abyss, said the mad cartographer map as you get a little bit closer.
Nice.
This thing's still chained on one side. These weird eyes looking up at you as the rest of the ice devil surrenders its pike to whoever wants it, and kind of stands by, waiting for you to decide what to do with its fate. I'm gonna cut to everybody has come down and is now standing somewhere within sight of the Sibriex, unless you want to do otherwise.
Ice devils are large, right?
I'm sorry?
Ice devils are large,
They are.
which means its weapon is oversized, so it can't be used by a medium.
I believe it is
mediumoid.
magical, though. Just saying.
I'm just gonna hold it with my
Yeah,
telekinesis. Like,
Okay.
I'm just gonna basically, like, with my mind, hold it in.
Just press it up against the rock.
Yeah, I'm taking the thing. I can't like bring it to bear combatively, but I can carry it. So.
Sure thing. So
I'm
you
a beefy
take...
lady.
Actually, as you're looking over the battlefield and you see these fallen chain devil, a few of them had some stuff on them. So, quick little side note about that ice spear. It is a magical weapon.
Yeah, but it should be too large to carry.
Well, as a magical weapon, it can resize.
Is that? Oh, okay. I don't know
I'm
about
assuming, like armor. I'm gonna go with that. So it is. You hold it for a while, and parts of it melt away, just onto the ground, leaving a size spear you could, in theory, wield.
that. Right. It should go down a damage die, because the extra die is for size.
Yeah. So it's 1d8 plus 5, and it gets extra cold damage
not
on
plus
an
5. It's plus.
Oh, sorry,
the
plus
thing's
whatever.
Attack,
Plus
right?
1.
Yeah.
And it
Is that
does
right?
extra
Like, is
cold
it strength 4?
damage. It's not specifically, but yes, it's basically an ice spear.
Sure. Cool.
So it'd be a d6 if you wield it one-handed, and it is a +1, and it does extra.
But it's sized
3d6
appropriate that I don't have to be struggling under its weight. That's the important part.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna. We all know
In
I'm not gonna
time.
hit anybody with this.
Yeah. Assuming you actually attune to it, which
Cool.
I don't know if you have extra slots with your mace and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, are we doing attunement slots? Is that a thing we're doing? We've
Yeah.
never talked about it before.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, think about that. A couple other things as you're sifting through and kind of taking stock of the battle. You actually find a couple of things in possession of some of the fallen chain devils, and when you search the ice devil. So the ice devil has this strange band of gold across its one finger, and it looks like a magic ring of some kind. You also have in the bodies of the chain devils, kind of in amongst their ratty possessions, you find 2 potions of greater healing, and amongst all of them, the chain devils, they eat about 3 of them had soul coins, and the ice devil, when you search it, it also has a small sack of soul coins which you can take. So there are 3, so you get a total of 6 soul coins, 2 greater healing potions, some kind of ring if you want to pry it off the ice devil, and a fetid, grimy spell book bound in Aasimar for flesh.
Wait, who
and
had that?
That is the ice devil.
Oh, wow. I would not expect them to need a spellbook. Okay, cool.
It might have been treasure off of something else, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's just cool.
And
I'm gonna
expensive.
use my telekinesis to pull the ring off
Okay.
and take a look at it.
Ring.
It doesn't resist. So
What is it? Like, can I do an
you
arcana?
can do
quick
Arcana check to
this?
try to find it. You don't have identify, so it's hard to tell, but we'll see how it goes.
Sure. Let me just do my arcana check.
loot, 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 loot. Loot, 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 loot,
22.
loot, 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 loot. 22.
Yep.
All right. It's hard to be sure, but it doesn't appear to be any. It looks like it was taken off of someone from the mortal plane. It's not. The runic engravings on it are arcane, and they are not in infernal, so they appear to be made probably on a different plane. It doesn't. I mean, you can't tell for sure. It doesn't appear to be cursed, but without identify, who knows? It does have an image of an eye on it, and it kind of, I don't know if you've ever seen the old radium clocks, where the lettering in the runes has a very slight greenish glow to it, very slight, and it's several runes around the inside, and there's a small eye engraving on it.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to put the ring on just yet.
You instantly transform into an ice. Oh, you said you're not putting it on.
Correct.
Damn it. Okay. Never mind. I'm kidding.
Yeah, problem.
All right.
So,
all right. So this Sibriex is just hovering there, kind of in front of you, awaiting you to decide what to do with it.
Hello?
When it speaks, it's mostly in your head. It does speak with a mouth filled with teeth and this weird eyes and bulbous ichor just dripping off of it, and blood from all its wounds from all the chains. And it looks up at you, and it speaks simultaneously in your mind and from its from its weird twisted mouth or mouths. When it speaks, each mouth speaks in a different language simultaneously.
Oh, great.
And what would you have with me?
We seek information. In exchange, we'll let you free.
Fine. Information I have.
9 rods. 9 adamantine rods. We know that you know the location of these rods. They are connected to the companion, and they may once have been in the possession of an Erinies named Sarnia. Where are the rods?
And in exchange, I will be free.
That's right. We'll set you free. And you can leave in peace.
Can I get you to do either persuasion check or deception check, depending on which you prefer? Yep.
Before he does that, I'm going to look at Sibriex and tell it, or you can join us in our goals
What brings you here? Be
as
bound
allies.
by Zariel's servants.
I secrets, knowledge that those is mine. I go wherever I can find it. I have no interest in your struggles, but I know what it is you see.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll persuasion check.
Yep. Or deception, if you plan on killing it.
No, I plan to just persuade it.
My hope was to have given him advantage, but I'm guessing that didn't happen.
Well, it's not over yet, and I haven't seen him roll. Is he rolled? I'm not watching that screen.
24.
Ooh, that is a lot. Okay. It kind of shudders as you kind of cut it off as it begins to go on at length about the wonders of the hidden truth, the twisted secrets, the dark thoughts. But then you're just like, meh, business. And it says,
In exchange for my freedom, I will tell you.
You get the impression that it wants you to let it go free first,
Intimidation.
but it's, I don't know, there's something about it that's just, it's shuddering in a way, and like this one bulbous point on its neck kind of, which has just been slowly pulsing in and out. Suddenly when it does this, it goes into a slight spasm, like it's awaiting like a chance at something.
Hmm.
Can I get somebody who isn't Fenris focusing on this? Roll an insight check. Either Valerie, Henrietta, Darmita.
Can I? This is not a demon, is it?
It is a fiend.
It's a demon.
It is considered a
technically
fiend?
a demon. Yeah. So you would have advantage.
Insight?
Mm-hmm.
That seems appropriate.
Like it's from the abyss, right?
Yep.
So
18.
18. Nice. All right. It's a little hard to read this strange, twisted creature, but you quickly surmise if you loose the chains on this thing, it'll bolt. But it doesn't seem to be. You get the impression that it will live up to its deal if it has to.
I'm gonna walk over to the chain and put my foot on it to make it just a wee bit tighter. A little more taut. Answer his questions.
I have intimidation. The expertise, but it's not.
The Avernus you seek turned tail from Bela and betrayed you. Enjoy your horses with Zariel with a present, a gift. 9 adamantine rods. It presented them in Zariel's first fortress. Kept deep behind on the bridge, deep on the flying fortresses. The safe. Then it fell under attack from abyssal forces. They grounded it, beat it back, damaged his flying fortress. Zariel and her cadre fled, and now reside in Bela's old flying fortress. The rods remain. The Avernus sometimes roosts, nests in this old broken fortress. She is there now,
Where is this fortress?
The Sibriex begins to describe, and you quickly pull out your mad cartographer map, and essentially finds the spot where it has been grounded. This old fortress. And I could drag you all there if you like.
Sure.
So
Henry, are you able to locate with that kind of information?
Somebody had a version of Find the Path. Oh no, that was somewhere else.
I have locate object.
Yeah, it just requires you to have like, I mean,
More information.
either you need to like know the specific one personally, or you need to search for a type of thing, and an adamantine rod is specific enough that probably would work. Unfortunately,
There it
its
is.
range isn't super. It'll help us like find it when we're already close. Yeah.
All right.
It's
So
in 1,000 feet.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
currently on
Yeah,
your
within
map,
1,000
far
feet.
to the south in Avernus, almost opposite of where you are. You're in Bell's Forge, and far to the south is the wrecked flying fortress of Zariel, the now nesting keep of the turncoat Arrhenius Sarnia, the target of Valerie. And
We were already close to there. Arg!
you go back and forth. So you know where this thing is kept, and you have what you came for.
And before we get into that, we kind of jumped right into battle. And there was something I did not do at the beginning of the day.
Ah.
Good call. Me neither.
Would you like to make your rolls now on your special abilities?
Yes.
All right.
So
roll a D6.
D6, right?
I believe mine's a 6 and yours is a 5 or 6. Is that
Yep,
right?
that's
I think
correct.
That's
Yep.
right.
Come on. Can I use my luck?
Do you have luck?
Of course I do.
Oh, I didn't know you had
I
luck.
have-
Yes, you can use
I have
luck.
3.
You can re-roll a luck.
I want one.
All right.
Just to raise my odds.
Just to see. See if that commune
One of
ability-
these days.
speak with
I
your
gotta
mom.
get it. I gotta get it back one of these days. Come on. Like Darmita's getting a little. Fuck!
By the way, I'm going to use my Pearl of Power since we rested, and yeah.
Absolutely. So
Get a spell
unfortunately,
back.
you do you release the Sibriex?
Hold on.
No.
hold on. Not yet.
I hold on to it.
Okay. We can resume that if you
So-
want to keep asking questions or cut back.
I mean, I don't mind upholding our end of the bargain, but I don't want to just release it right next to us because I've got the feeling it's an ugly abyssal thing that could just turn on us.
Yeah, it's probably a pretty fair read on the situation.
I can release it from about 120 feet away.
Like, I would want, like, I would just say, like, if we've confirmed that it's not lying to us, that as far as we know, we have the location, it's in the flying fortress, then we would probably like retreat to the like the cliff and say, you know, we're going to release you at a distance and do it like from far away and
Sure.
and
So you
and make
press
it
back up
make-
over.
Yeah.
You can now see the infernal machine you rode in on.
Yeah.
While we were talking to it, I probably didn't ask for anything. I think everything that was said was good, but I'd probably say something like, "Oh, there's so much I wish I could ask you, but you've done enough."
Secrets. You carry secrets.
Yeah. Anyways, that's I think what we're gonna do.
All right. So you retreat to a safe distance, and the salivating, terrifying creature, and Bela, Darmita knocks the arrows, takes aim at the last remaining chain. Its strength is pathetic. There's no way it could have pulled away. By the way, it's got other abilities though. and you
Right.
after a couple of arrow strikes, go ahead and make your rolls, just because it'd be funny if you keep missing.
Fair enough.
Put a nat 1, shoot in the face.
The deal is
Oh. That would be awesome if Darmita did.
I
do
mean,
that.
it is actually funny. You were like, you should come with us. And then they're like, yeah, you're full of secrets. And I'm like, oh, maybe
Yeah,
my doesn't want to come with us.
I was like, when I heard, I was just like, yeah, I don't know, it's a weird demon thing.
16s on both attacks.
Two 16s.
Nice. Yeah, both of them hit the chain just, and it's looking pretty rough. From this range, it's 15 to hit, by the way. So anyway, it's looking pretty rough. The chain is dinged up pretty bad. Oh, this one's fresh. So
This
you're
is
gonna
the
need
fresh
to
one.
do a couple more
I
shots,
never-
or you can use telekinesis. It's up to you.
Can I
It's
just
out
hit
of
it
range of
with my talon?
telekinesis.
I'm right beside it, so.
No. We're not going to be anywhere near this thing.
Valerie's like,
Yeah.
I'll do it, and Fenris grabs him with the telekinesis. So grabs her.
This is a new combat. He's got 3 attacks.
It's true. I do.
Well, you could just take an next 6 seconds, keep shooting.
Yeah, I know. I just think it's
Eventually,
funny.
after peppering this thing, do a couple more rolls. I'm just curious if you hit the thing, because interesting stuff
18?
happens. 18
Yeah.
hits the chain.
18.
Okay.
That's
And
enough, right?
last
It's 20 total, isn't it?
Bite the chain. There you go.
28 for
There you
good
go.
measure.
And doing enough damage that time. That's up over 30. So there, the last
Oh,
chain
okay.
breaks, and this large bulbous creature goes floating off. And you can hear this disgusting, happy giggle. As it just sails away over the the Avernus plain. And with that, I think we're gonna cut back to you guys walking back to the Inferno Machine, the hot wind blowing your trench coats behind you, Reservoir Dogs style, and I think that's where we're gonna call it for the night.
I am going to pick up some arrows, though.
Oh yeah,
I need to read.
And
Yeah. I can help
taking
you
my
with that.
javelin.
Like, we can go, like, if it goes away, I'll go, like, I'll grab some from far away and, like, pile them
mage
up.
hand.
Yeah.
We did roll the bodies.
Yeah,
so
telekinesis
it's a
still up.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
You guys
How many
had time to
soul
do all
coins?
that.
Sorry, Todd, how many soul coins were there? Did we get
6.
again?
In total.
6.
Okay. And then who
I
wants the
have 2
2
on
greater
my
healing potions? I have 1 healing potion in the Kyogam still, so you guys can, and I took the ring, so you guys can maybe Darmita, 1 for you, 1 for you.
Okay.
And since
I'll definitely take one.
yeah, and so since Henrietta got the ice spear, then Valerie, you get the other greater healing potion in case you need it.
all right.
Yeah, you all take that stuff.
And I
I'll
also
take the
grab
ring.
my-
You got the ice spear, and then we've got 6 more soul
I
coins. if
grab
we need it.
my javelin, of course. So.
As you
Yeah,
spend
of
a bit of
course.
time with that ring, it's a ring of X-ray vision.
Oh. Okay.
X-ray.
Exactly. Madam Curie isn't here yet.
What does that do?
Lets you see through
It
walls.
shoots radiation. It's awesome. You
Oh.
Yeah. So it effectively X-ray vision. It's an X-ray ring, just like every 12-year-old boy ever wanted. This is
So you
Dungeons
can't
and
see
Dragons.
anything? Nice. You just can't see anything. You just look. You're just like, oh no, dang, we're nowhere.
You,
Everything's.
Okay.
you can look it up. It's on D&D Beyond, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
It's just
Okay, I'll
literally
take
what
a
happened
look.
to be in here. So
I would never guess that there'd be something like that in our.
yeah, seriously,
Midst.
12-year-old
Yeah.
wet dream right here.
Yeah.
Rolling some dice, talking to a giant nutsack floating suspended by chains. Yeah.
not
Fun
inaccurate.
times. Fun times. Well, we're one step closer to
Mm-hmm.
Sarnia and these rods.
And we'll figure out whether we want to play it all out. Actually,
And we
I mean,
have 6 days left.
Yeah, you got 6 days and a couple of spell slots, so you might make it.
I think we'd want to hightail it down there and just
Yeah.
get going
Absolutely.
on this.
I say
right.
it's time we take fucking Sarnia out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's
There you
hightail
go.
it down there. And
Yep.
yep.
It's time to avenge
After
boys.
what you
How
guys
fast could we
saw.
get there? Just for time wise, like how fast do you think we could actually get to that distance?
Well, I mean,
It's weird.
Distance?
Distance is just weird in the.
Avernus is
in hell,
strange.
but, yeah.
The problem is you'd have to figure out how to cross the sticks.
So there's like actually a thing we have to deal with. Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it would be.
What do you mean? Why can't we just go through the gate again?
The gate's gone. We cracked it.
Oh, that's right. It's gone. Never mind.
You could get there. You could try crossing at the Stygian dock, which you are aware of,
Mhm.
which was a thing. I should change that.
Well,
We should have asked the thing if it had a way of getting us there. I considered it and then didn't bother. It probably doesn't, but that'd be cool if it did.
It
or
doesn't
we could
say
go
any
back
of
to
that.
Belle and ask Belle to transport us there.
I'd rather not go back to Bell.
Yeah.
I just like
I'm
don't
just
want to waste a scene, no matter what it is. Like I don't really care how we get there. I just want to be there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably pick it up next game. Like, you pull up to the wrecked flying fortress, do a couple checks to see how long it takes. It'll be
Yeah.
a day,
That sounds
maybe
good
two.
to me. Yeah, I
That
like
sounds
that.
good.
Where it's
Maybe
just
more.
about time. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It depends on how well you'll do those survival checks, basically.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'll do the survival checks and we'll kick
We'll
ass on
set up
them.
a little ramp and we'll just like launch over the
That's the
thing.
trick,
I'm
like,
sure
do
it'll be
you
great.
take-
Yeah.
Do you take the infernal machine? Actually, okay, just for next time, the imp that is busy being damned impressed by all of you looks up and has been kind of shadowing Hen and been like, you know, in the
Yes,
kind
I
of
was
way
the
that a
most impressive
henchman will
one.
kind of like imitate them and try to walk a bit like her, even though it's not wearing any clothes at all, like a little loincloth. And Henrietta's in full plate, so it's walking around like a little miniature weightlifter. And it pipes up and it's like,
Oh, you want to cross the sticks, huh? Well, my cousin, he's got a barge. We can borrow that. It'll hold us.
so you can actually arrange with the imp. And I'm gonna
We're
need
recommending a
internet.
barge at one point. Yeah.
I almost forgot. Sorry. Internet. Oh, that's Fenris. Hold on. Internet, I'm gonna need your help for a second. I'm gonna need a name for this imp. First of all, this imp that once, well, is sort of allied with Belle, and is taken with Henrietta. The other one is I'm going to need a
Ice.
title for and the Ice Devil
Yeah.
name.
I gotta have a
And the
conversation with
title
him
for
Because
the
sometime.
he's
episode.
with us.
Yep,
Yeah, he's with us.
that's true. So we're gonna
He
need all
has
three of those.
sworn fealty to us.
Yeah.
You bet.
And then I need to have a conversation about like
Did he?
okay, what like actual
Okay.
binds
He did.
Oh, okay.
things bind
He-
you.
remember?
Yeah, fair.
He put his
They did.
his
Put it in
sword,
blood.
Can
his
they, right?
pike upside
So
down.
it's a whole wiggle waggle.
He's
Yeah.
and then he killed the other changeable.
Yeah.
I want to have
Fealty.
that conversation sometime, but I don't.
Yeah,
want to
you guys can worry about that. Right now, we just need some names. So, internet, we need an imp. We don't need it right now. We can do this next time too. But we do need an episode title, either from you guys or from the internet. So we need a title for tonight's episode before we wrap, ideally.
Hey, this is where Taka Sabroso could get involved.
Absolutely. Taka has been dropping by. Taka Sabroso has been watching me, joining me, playing some Elite Dangerous when I
Oh,
nerd out.
Nice.
But thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. So yeah, if you want to name tonight's episode, that'd be fantastic. Otherwise, anybody can. Same with the
Yeah, what did we
people
do
at the table.
today? We would have done
Spears
some
and
deals with devils,
chains.
but then we skipped that mostly. I mean, it still happened, but it wasn't as much of a highlight of the episodes I would have expected. And then we fought a bunch of people, and then we talked to a bunch of faces.
I don't know. The
And-
ice slam
And we
down was
turned
pretty good.
an ice devil.
While people are thinking
I
about
mean-
a title name, I do want to give a shout out for the map, Patreon supporter for Dynamic Dungeon. So thanks very much, Dynamic Dungeon, for some of
Ooh,
the maps.
Scrix.
They do really good stuff. Oh,
Scrix.
Scrix, that's such a good
Scrix for
imp
the
name.
imp.
Thank you so
Great
much
name.
there, Fabriel.
That reminds
As
me
I
of
drop my pen.
Scroach. Is that what the word was before?
Scroach?
Scroach. Yeah.
Scrooch.
Scrouch. I don't remember that one.
That was the word I invented.
Yeah. It was...
All right, Scrix
My name is
Bricks for the impy.
is the imp
Yeah.
who is guiding you. Bell said,
It's
"Do
a
you need a
good name
guide?"
for an imp.
And gave it. That's a fantastic name for an imp. I couldn't do better myself.
Yeah.
And any
What
episode
about-
titles?
Come on, B. Say something. Give us a name.
Or any of you guys? I think Carl said something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
Spirits
something.
in
I don't
chains
know.
will never hurt us.
I don't know.
Deals, devils, and demons, oh my.
The classic format.
The classic hellish format. I kind of think something like Ice and the Wyvern. I don't know, something
Ice
along
Ice
those lines is
Baby.
cool.
Which I think is an infringement on copyright,
Yeah.
but
Oh no,
You know.
Vanilla Ice is gonna sue us.
it's already been infringed upon anyway. He infringed, so
Bertez. Thank you.
Ice to
I like
meet
that one. Ice to meet you, Mr. Devil. I think that's gonna take the cake for tonight.
thank you, B.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks so much. All right,
That's
and
a
thanks
good
very much for
one.
watching, guys. And thanks very much for playing all those.
It's been fun.
So we'll be back in about a week on a Thursday. And,
Ice. Sarah Fabriel said ice on my wyvern.
That's good. That's
Do you-
good.
Ice on my wyvern.
That's really good. I like that one.
Those are nice. I like
It's
it.
a tough
I like
call.
That is tough.
They're
You know, we could
both
roll a
really,
dice.
really good.
We're all about rolling dice, and there's two really good
D4.
ones.
You always subtitle it anyway, right?
I do. I'll put both in. We'll just put one for the front. So we'll include
Yeah.
both of those somehow. All right. Thanks so much,
Yeah,
everybody.
because they're both really great names.
Yeah, those are good names. All right, we are SideQuest Live, and we're gonna get out of here. You have a fantastic, safe week, and we will play some more Dungeons and Dragons. You're welcome to join us. We'll see you then. Stick around for the credits for all the Creative Commons music. Unfortunately, my scroll stopped, so if you are interested in the music, you gotta check that out. And everybody else, have a fantastic night. We'll see you soon.
Good night, all.
SideQuest Live.
Good
Thanks
game.
so much for tuning in. We try to record all of our games as much as possible, whether that's Dungeons and Dragons or Shadowrun or another tabletop role-playing game. Just a quick side note about all the licenses and copyrights involved. Our music is all Creative Commons attribution music on our live stream video feed or YouTube replay or Twitch VOD. We always attribute each individual artist, so be sure to check out those individual artist attributions. Lots of love to so many people who make their work available so that we can do what we do. So thank you. It influences our game. It makes it immeasurably better. So much appreciation for them. Let's not forget the makers of the games. Dungeons and Dragons is copywritten by Wizards of the Coast. They own it. They make it available to all of us to play, and it's wonderful. We are in no way affiliated with them, and nor do they endorse this podcast, but we are very appreciative. The other game we often play is Shadowrun, which is Catalyst Games, and again, we are not affiliated with them, and they do not endorse us, but we really appreciate their game, and we hope you appreciate our game. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitch and YouTube, and watch for those live games once we're streaming them out. And of course, we do accept suggestions for names, so please hit us up on Instagram and name our stuff. All right, thanks so much. I'm Todd, and this has been SideQuest Live. We'll see you again soon.